आप इतनी दूर कैसे बैठी हैं? यहाँ आइए।
ठीक है, ठीक है।
सर ड्रोन का पूजा पाठ करके उसको स्टार्ट करना था 3 महीने तक से ड्रोन को
कहाँ करेंगे?
फार्म पे कर लेंगे, फार्म करेंगे, फार्म पे कर लेंगे।
हम पे कौन करेगा? बुलाया है? अच्छा, टाइम रुद्रपुर साल है तो अभी डिस्कस कर लेंगे टाइम पे। वो म्यूट कर।
उसके बाद फिर आप, तो आपको पता है कि वल्वर लिप्स में बहुत गंदगी लगी होती है, काफी बैक्टीरिया।
भैया यहाँ से ना पूरा ऐसे ऐसे खड़ा है, ऊपर और नीचे से। नहीं नहीं, वो पता ही नहीं कह रहा, ऊपर बोला। अभी हम लोग का सोच क्या है ना जी, ऐसे तोड़ के इस साइड आ रहा है तो ताकि हम लोग का दिक्कत ना हो। आप तक कैसे लगाएंगे? आप अपनी सस्ती करता है। हाँ, पता है लगाने में। तो सस्ती भाई सूट यहाँ से लेके यहाँ तक हम लेते हैं ना, फिर से नापा था ना। हाँ, आके वहाँ पे तो ये हम लोग के कहा यहाँ से वहां तक नापा। ये यहाँ से कितना इतने के बाहर ले लेना सर।
ಹಲೋ ಸರ್.
ಹಲೋ,
ಹಾಂ ಸರ್.
ನನ್ನೆ ಅದು ವ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿನ್ ಒಂದು ಬಂದಿದೆ.
ಓಕೆ ಸರ್.
ಇವಾಗ ಈ ಟೀಮ್ ಏನಾದರೂ ಯಾವ
ಸರಿ ಸರ್, ನಾನು ರಾಮಕೃಷ್ಣಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಸರ್, ಕೋಆರ್ಡಿನೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ.
ಕೃಷ್ಣ
ಚಂದ್ರಮೋಹನ್ ಹಾಂ ಸರ್. ಮತ್ತು ಅದು ಗಿನಿ ಪಿಗ್ ಸರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಸರ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಪ್ಯಾನಲ್ಗೆ.
ಗಿನಿಪಿಗೂ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಹೌದು
ಸರ್, ಯಾವ ಕಂಪ್ನಿ ಸರ್ ಇದು?
ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ನೋಡಿಲ್ಲ ನಾನು.
ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವರು ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಬ್ರಿಲಿಯಂಟ್ ಆದ್ರೆ 4 ಡೋಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಡೋಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತಿದ್ದ ಅವ್ರು ಯಾರು. ಓಕೆ ಸರ್. ಓಕೆ ಸರ್.
ಮಾಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು.
ಸರಿ ಸರ್, ಆಯ್ತು ಸರ್.
ಯಾವಾಗ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ ಅವತ್ತು ಈ ಥರ ಮಾಡಿ ಮೊದಲು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತೀನಿ ವ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿನ್ ಎಲ್ಲ.
ಓಕೆ ಸರ್.
ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಜನಕ್ಕೆ
बारह नहीं जरा करी नटना जला
आ रही है ना? आपने जूम को परमिशंस तो नहीं बंद की हुई है ऑडियो वीडियो? वैसे जो बीच में बोल रहे हैं माइक्रोफोन म्यूट कर दो। हेलो, फैन छोटे वाली है।
तो उसका भी कर देना। और बैंड 69 है। लगा लो बेटा। ये जो डेस्कटॉप है ना, डेस्कटॉप 72. Hmm? ये कितना दिया है? अच्छा, म्यूट ही है हमारा।
Recording running without mute.
Your microphone is unmuted.
मदन भी है ना, मदन है ना, क्या क्या अंत होया उसका, और इतना खराब सेक्रेटरी करना ना।
A very warm good morning to the August gathering. It is indeed a matter of great pleasure for all of us to hold the first workshop and interface follow-up meet of 2024-25 with the Animal Husbandry Department of Himachal Pradesh. On this occasion, we have with us Honorable Director, Vice Chancellor, ICR IBRI, Dr. Triveni Dutt sir, as a chief guest, and Dr. Sandeep Ratan, Deputy Director from the Department of Animal Husbandry, Himachal Pradesh, Shimla. I welcome to all of you. I extend my warm welcome to all the dignitaries and participants of this interface workshop. Let's begin this program with the ICR song followed by IBRI song.
जय जय परिषद भारत की प्रगति हरित भारत की धन मानव वैज्ञानिक संरक्षण सत्य श्यामला भारत की जय जय कृषि परिषद भारत की प्रदेश के मरुधर के हर पथ पर है शिक्षा शांति प्रसार सकल आशा स्वावलंबित भारत की जय जय कृषि परिषद भारत की जय जय कृषि परिषद भारत
व्हाट्सएप में आया हुआ है लिंक ना जूम लिंक है व्हाट्सएप में लिंक
मानव जीवन सहचर जय हो पशु संस्थान भारत पहुँचानव विज्ञान सतनगर अभिनव चिकित्सा सहयोगी शुभ जय हो पशु संस्कार विविध मानव जीवन सहचर जय हो पशु संस्थान क्या करना है मास्क होगा देखो
Now, I would like to request Dr. Roopsi Tiwari ma'am, Joint Director Extension Education, for her welcome address and brief about this program. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Akhilesh. Good morning and a warm welcome to the workshop on research trends in animal diseases and production and the interface meeting follow-up #1. This is the first workshop and the meeting with the State Department of Animal Husbandry of Himachal Pradesh this year, and the second in the series with respect to the interface meet with the State Department of Animal Husbandry of Himachal Pradesh. In fact, it's the follow-up interface meet of the meet that was held last year with the State Department of Animal Husbandry of Himachal Pradesh. At the outset, I wish to extend my heartiest welcome to Dr. Sandeep Ratanji, Deputy Director, Animal Production, Shimla, Directorate of Animal Husbandry, Himachal Pradesh, and the guest of honor of today's program for his kind presence and for nominating the veterinary professionals from the department for participating in this meet. Sir, we are thankful for your gracious presence on this occasion, and we look forward to a very strong linkage with the State Department of Animal Husbandry of Himachal Pradesh for all future programs. Warm welcome to Dr. Triveni Dutt, sir, Director and Vice Chancellor of IBRI, who has been a major force and motivation behind organization of this event in a grand manner. Sir, we welcome you and thank you for sparing your valuable time and showing your constant support for every program. Your presence today in the program will motivate all the participants gathered here. Warm welcome to Dr. YPS Malik, Dr. KP Singh, Joint Director Cadred, Dr. SK Singh, Joint Director Research, Dr. SK Mendiratta, Joint Director Academics, Dr. YPS Malik, Joint Director IVRA Mukteshwar Campus, Dr. Pallab Chaudhary, Joint Director IVRA Bengaluru Campus for their gracious presence. Heartfelt welcome to Dr. Gorakhmal, Station in Charge, IVRA Regional Station Palampur, and one of the organizing secretary of this programs, and the co-organizing secretaries, Dr. Benu and the coordinator, Dr. Akhilesh, for their constant support in licensing the program with the Animal Husbandry Department and for mobilizing officials of the Institute for their participation in the meet. Warm welcome to all the station in charges, head of divisions, faculty, scientists, and students, and the speakers of this program who have registered and are connected today. I hope that the workshop and the deliberations in the program proves beneficial to you. Warm and heartful welcome to all the additional directors, joint directors, deputy directors, chief veterinary officers, senior veterinary officers, veterinary pharmacists, and all the other staff of the State Department of Animal Husbandry of Himachal Pradesh and the subject matter specialists and the program coordinators of Krishi Vigyan Kendras who have spared their valuable time for this workshop and the meet. We feel that the deliberations in the meet would be very fruitful in chalking out future research and training programs and provide important inputs that would surely help in guiding future research. And last but not the least, a warm welcome to all the chairpersons, co-chairpersons, rapporteurs, speaker, and coordinators of the technical sessions, which will be held just after the inaugural program. Now about the workshop and the meet. Well, this interface meeting is not new, and as a part of the extension programs being taken up by the Institute, we are organizing these meets since 2009. Last year, we have organized 10 interface meets with the various State Department of Animal Husbandry and Industries and the Krishi Vigyan Kendras and Ataris. These meets have led to the generation of a large number of researchable issues and the requirements of the State Department of Animal Husbandry in terms of technologies and trainings. The meet that was held last year with the State Department of Animal Husbandry, Himachal Pradesh, generated a number of issues which the Institute has tried to address, and the ATR will be shown here today. Further, keeping in view their major problems as revealed by the responses last year, we have planned the workshop with presentations on effective utilization of unconventional feed resources for producing quality fodder in hilly regions, identifying the infertility and repeat breeders and their management strategies, and the issues of antimicrobial resistance and role of ethno-veterinary medicine in addressing antimicrobial resistance, and also a lecture on the research achievements of IVRA Regional Station Palampur. These will be dealt by the heads and experts of the division and of the nutrition, reproduction, and the medicine. The major mandate of the workshop is to provide the officials of the Animal Husbandry Department with the latest advances in the areas of unconventional feed resources, infertility, AMR, and EVM, and also showcasing the ongoing research efforts of the IVRA Regional Station Palampur. Further, the interface meet follow-up is targeted to appraise the officials of the action taken report on the issues raised by them last year and also to discuss on the present issues being faced by them. One important mandate is to generate need-based researchable issue by having a dialogue with the various stakeholders and also to develop collaborative extension research and teaching programs and promote technology transfer. So before going further, we will take a glimpse of what were the deliberations last year and what actions have been initiated. And also want to lay down the expectations of the State Department of Animal Husbandry today as put in the Google forms that were provided in the registration. So we have more than 180 registered participants from the Department of Animal Husbandry and KVK. Apart from them, a large number of faculty of IVRA and students are also have also joined this program, and a large number of people are viewing it live on the YouTube. So this is the workshop and the interface meeting series wherein we will showcase the ATR. Next slide, please. So these were the action points regarding researchable issues and the ATR of the interface meet. So researchable issue first is utilization of native, conventional, unconventional forages. This issue was raised by Dr. P.K. Sharma, Director, Animal Husbandry, and the action was to be taken by the HORC Palampur and HD Animal Nutrition. The project is underway to formulate diet based on locally available agro-industrial byproducts for migratory gaddi goats. The second point was use of indigenous plants in animal health and production, raised again by Dr. P.K. Sharma, Director, Animal Husbandry, Himachal Pradesh. So again, the action was to be taken by HORC Palampur and HD Medicine and Animal Nutrition. So a new project will be submitted on mapping of Northwest Hilly Region forage bioresources and the use of environmental friendly livestock production. And already a research project proposal has been submitted in this line to DST Serve Power Grant. Then the issue was preventive measures from disease outbreaks. Dr. Avinash Sharma, Joint Director, Animal Husbandry, Himachal Pradesh, has raised the section.
Interface meet is there.
Medicine and
Treatment of the animals in a hilly region and
so the standard guidelines are available.
use of indigenous plants in animal health and production. That is also there.
We request all to please mute. Standard guidelines are available at the DHD website, and for training will be whenever there is a requirement, we will give it to the officers whenever there is request. Request is coming. Then study of infertility in relation to minerals and dietary deficiencies. So the issue was raised by Dr. Anupam Mittal, Joint Director, Animal Husbandry, Himachal Pradesh, and the action was to be taken by HDAR. So the report presented is research work on correlation between infertility and mineral deficiencies has been carried out in the past in various regions of the country, including hilly areas. Research results have shown a direct correlation of the infertility with the dietary and the mineral deficiencies. Then the area-specific mineral mixtures has also been developed for many regions of the country. Next slide, please. Then again, some more researchable issues were study of metabolic disorder in large animals. So the issue was raised by veterinary officers. And the ATR is research project will be taken to address the mineral deficiency diseases in small ruminants. This will be taken up by Palampur and the HD Medicine. Then there was a study topic for study on antibiotic resistance pattern raised by the Director Animal Husbandry of Himachal Pradesh. The work has yet to be taken up. Then the development of mini pregnancy diagnostic kits and treatment of repeat breeding. So this was raised by Deputy Director Animal Husbandry Himachal Pradesh. And the report is IVRA has developed an ELISA method for early pregnancy diagnosis, which is in the process of validation. And for the repeat breeding, many treatment protocols are available in the literature for treatment of repeat breeding, depending upon the etiology. Next slide, please. For the training requirements, one of the requirement was training on silage and azola making. This was required by the veterinary officer of the Animal Husbandry departments. And the ATR is farmers are regularly trained during extension and outreach activities, including Kisan Mela, to preserve surplus forage through ensiling. Then infrastructure will be developed to provide training on production of azola as a feed supplement. Further, a 21 days winter school on recent advances in veterinary sciences and animal husbandry as a joint venture between IVRA Regional Station Palampur and the National Agriculture Development Cooperative Limited, Baramulla, was organized by the Palampur Center during 2023. Next slide, please. So these were the other training requirements of the department, like advanced techniques for animal diagnosis, value addition, bovine reproductive issues, post-mortem techniques, ultrasonography, radiography, blood transfusion, epidemiological techniques, toxicological investigations, etc. But we have not received any specific request from the Department of Animal Husbandry, Himachal Pradesh for these trainings, although they were asked during the interview However, IVRA is regularly providing a large number of certificate and vocational courses and courses for the veterinary officers. And these courses are being advertised on our IVRA website. In 2023-24 also, such a calendar was made and it was advertised on the website. And for this year also, we have made the training calendar for 2024-25, and this is already uploaded on the IVRA website, and you may choose from these trainings which you require. Apart from that, you may also request for customized trainings, and IVRA can design and develop customized trainings for you and provide them, because in the yesteryears during 2009 to 2009 to 14 on, and before that also, we have organized large number of trainings of Himachal Pradesh for their veterinary officers and the paravets. Next slide, please. So during the registration of this particular program, these were the responses that we got. Next slide. So this is the profile at present. We got the registration from 70 male and the 29 female participants, and the educational qualifications range from graduation. Next slide, please. Did the last meet held on 9? It's exactly on 2 days when the last meet was held. So this was asked whether it was helpful, and yes, was affirmative was there by 61% of the respondent, while 18% replied they had not attended. Few replied it was not helpful. Of course, this meager, that is 19%. Next slide, please.
क्या हुआ?
Yeah. So the most significant problems of the livestock in your region, again, almost like the last year, the issues are almost similar. Of course, they will be similar. We cannot expect that within 1 year, some new issues have come up. Although we can see that it is repeat breeding, infertility, metabolic nutritional deficiency diseases, mastitis is a big problem, hemoprotozoan diseases, lantana poisoning, feed and fodder crisis, parasitism. Of course, there is a statement by Dr. Bharat Bhushan Kharka. Many animals in a particular area, like in a radius of 3 kilometers, suffer high-grade fever with nervous signs with high mortality. So this was something specific raised by this doctor. So we have specifically pointed it out. Then enzootic bovine hematuria, foot rot in small animal, ruminants, stray animals, and FMD. These are all ongoing problems existing there. Next slide, please. Problems faced in diagnosis and treatment of animals. So they do not have diagnostic kits. They do not have well-equipped laboratory at field level, although lack of field staff is also there. But I don't know IVRA can take up this issue or not, because it's more related to their department. Lack of refresher courses. Of course, we are advertising so many refresher courses and they can join. Similar symptoms for most of the different diseases. So I think they need to take training on differential diagnosis, and too much goat diseases in our area. So this can be addressed through trainings or workshops and sensitization and awareness programs. Next slide, please. Then technology requirement of veterinary officers. Again, they require rapid diagnostic kits, pen-side diagnostic kits for early detection of diseases, hands-on training for disease diagnosis, interpretation of disease conditions on the basis of lab reports. They need equipment and infrastructure. Of course, that I think will be dealt with the State Department. It's not an area where IVRA can touch. Early PD kits for cattle and buffalo, and smart portable lifting assemblies for large animals. We do have such a technology, the downer bovine stand, and then that can be provided to them. And they want apps, mobile apps that provide updates on current advancements in clinical management, milk and milk. So such type of an app can be thought of. Next slide, please. Area in which you require training. So again, these things have come up: surgical technique, lab diagnosis, diagnostic practices, ultrasonography, radiography, nutrition and feeding, veterinary medicine, goat farming, milk production. Actually, it includes everything that is provided by the veterinary officer, paravets, or sometimes the links have been provided to the farmers also. So it is inclusive of all: infertility related problems, animal artificial insemination, sheep and goat, critical care and exotic pet medicine, wildlife management, IVF, field level pathological diagnosis. Next slide, please. Technology requirements of farmers. They require solution for external parasites. They require quality feed and fodder, rapid PD kits and heat detection collars. They require training on scientific rearing of animals, lifting machine for large animals. We do have this machine. then they need awareness more than technology. Many are still rearing in orthodox way. So some veterinary officer has given this line, so we have written like that. It means that there is still the scientific practices are not adopted in that area. I think more of extension mechanism and extension awareness is required. Easy availability of online demonstration for nutrition and rearing according to local conditions. So I think the Palampur regional station can take up this issue easily, and we can design some YouTube videos providing online demonstrations of important package of practices related to nutrition of local conditions and the rearing of animal. Then proper feed formulation, value addition to milk and milk products. We can even design videos for these topics also. And giving first aid to their animals is the requirement, and ready to use kits for diagnosis. Next slide, please. Would you like to suggest any researchable issue? So again, this year they have talked of researchable issue. Many are almost same here. External parasite control and disease associated with them vis-a-vis climate change is an issue. Subclinical markers for early and specific disease diagnosis is what they require. Metabolic disorders and their management, they have asked this last time also. Resistance to ectoparasites is a problem there. Research on mortality due to pneumonia in sheep and goats. Impact of herbicides and pesticides on reproduction efficiencies of ruminants in different regions of Himachal Pradesh. This is
ये
something.
बात भी है भाई
Then
किस
research
टाइम फेस करता है आगे
request you to please.
एक्चुअली कोई आइडिया क्या है गवर्नमेंट
इसी
कुछ
होता है
एक्चुअली चाहिए था नेक्स्ट तो कुछ ऐसा है
यार एक्चुअली सैलरी का डिटेल होता है पेंशन की डिटेल होती है वो
वैसे तो ये सैलरी नहीं है
हाँ
वो भी है फोन में
हाँ
वो भी
Yeah, so the research on mortality due to pneumonia in sheep and goats, then herbicides that we have already dealt with. Research should be focused on human microbiome of high altitude cattle. So this is something we need to focus on. Then bovine papillomatosis and medicinal herb-based therapeutics. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Yeah. Round the year green fodder production in hills, zero prevalence of disease area-wise in Himachal Pradesh. Prevalence of canine babesiosis and distemper, canine distemper simultaneously, and how to tackle it best. Reduction of antimicrobial resistance. Sudden collapse in livestock and various poisonous plants causing diseases in them. Sex sperm technology. Repeat breeding and its nutritional aspects is the same. Last year also it about asked. Impact of traditional rearing versus scientific rearing of milch animal in Himachal Pradesh and its economic significance. Digital pregnancy diagnosis in large animals and the transfer of technology to farmer, and single vaccine for multiple diseases. Next slide, please. So we have asked, can you suggest some measures to make this interface meet more helpful? So we want to make these meets more interesting, more helpful. So these are the requirements. It should be a refresher course. So of course, we can think of having an interface clubbed with a course. A handout of lectures delivered in the PDF, of course, this is important. And what we will do is, we can take the lectures from the expert, convert them into PDF and upload on our website. Constant and continuous interaction. We are doing that, and our Palampur center is there in the Himachal Pradesh, which is continuously interacting, and they can have the follow-up meets further frequent times in a year. It should be more interactive. We do have a full 1 or 2 hour interactive session here. Visit in our and solve our issues. Of course, this can be done. Add more in field vets to upgrade their knowledge and to motivate them for further dissemination. Hard copy questionnaire in detail. Of course, we are sending Google Forms. So next time what we can do is, if we have the email IDs, we can send the Google form through questionnaire also to them. So we take a note of your requirements. Formal letter be issued to everyone, every district head, to ask or make it mandatory to every veterinarian to participate in it. So this is very interesting suggestion coming from the participant itself, that they want it to be made mandatory so that it helps to everybody. So it's good, and we request this district administration and we district administration of the animal husbandry department to please issue such letter if such meets are organized, so that we can give more benefit to more number of participants and survey of the disease. So this can be done through the department or through IVRA through a sample survey. Next slide, please. So this is all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am, for in detail presentation of the ATR on the last meeting held and the expectation of the participant from this today's workshop on follow-up interface meet. Now in the series, I would request Dr. Sandeep Ratan sir, Deputy Director, Animal Husbandry, Department of Animal Husbandry, Simla, for his address.
Thank you. A very good morning to all of you. Uh, uh, at the outset, I would just apologize on behalf of our director because there is a series of selection, a screening committee which is selecting the veterinarians for the state services for which he has been engaged for entire week. So he very much wanted to be part of this very wonderful initiative by IVRI, but unfortunately he couldn't be there. And at woes to it means because of the model code of conduct, we have pending promotions. We don't have any joint directors. 3 joint directors, they are still not appointed. And another model code of conduct has come into play day before yesterday, rather yesterday. I take this opportunity to extend my thanks on behalf of this entire department, entire government of Himachal Pradesh to organize such a wonderful this training in hybrid mode for the veterinarians, for the paravets, for students, and so many other people who are directly associated with this sort of an activity of animal care. And at the outset, I thank Dr. Triveni, that is the Vice Chancellor, and for taking up an initiative to enrich the minds of all the veterinarians of the state. And at the same time, whatever the points Dr. Tiwari has just put in about the actions taken and other things which have been carried out in the past 1 year after first meeting which was held. I really admire the steps taken by IVRI to enrich the minds of all the field veterinarians, that how they can really get contributed by these activities, because as we understand that these field veterinarians, they are really linked to the root level of the this our entire setup. They know the problems of the farmers, the closed resources which they have to operate on, and then they have to work and to the satisfaction of not only the farmers but to their own satisfaction also, because ultimately if the veterinarian is not satisfied, then certainly there is something amiss, and you fill in the gap by bringing in these workshops and similar other a host of so many programs that you have been carrying out, some material in the form of YouTube videos or applications, and even the various equipment, etc., which you have been designing so that these can be adopted by the state, by the field veterinarians, and brought into the main foray and bring the best for the treatment, for the management, and for the upkeep of the animals, which is the entire aim of this entire department. So certainly your efforts in collaboration with the department, they will really bring up the results as envisioned by entire country. And in Himachal also, like a point just was raised about the diagnostics and other things. To supplement everything, we are also contemplating strengthening our diagnostic facilities at the field level. And fortunately, our secretary, Rakesh Kamarji, he is very keen into bringing up the practical solutions to all the people. And we might see something good in coming months. And in collaboration with the government of India, we have just launched 44 mobile veterinary units. So that would substantiate the entire effort of the department to bring about the treatment and every other aspect of the animal husbandry. And at the same time, what I have, because I just wanted to introduce my role as a veterinarian in this department, because I had been working with the wildlife for the past 15 years, and I have been collaborating with IVRI on so many occasions when we were really stuck. And the inputs which we got from IVRI, they were quite handy in bringing up this sort of revolution, I would say, in the entire faculty of this fraternity of this profession. And what I feel is that at the same time you have been taking care of so many things. Another emerging opportunity, or maybe it is a field of concern for all of us, is that One Health is becoming much more important in present scenario. And the reason is the host ranges, they are shifting like anything. With every new season, you find a new host range coming into play. And we have been, because through IVRI only, we came to understand that canine distemper in leopards and so many other things, they are coming up in the wild animals. And the situation which we saw in the COVID and other things, it's all limited not only to one or two species. It means the scope is limitless and our vision has to be limitless. So I think we need to focus on that also. And in the end, I would again appreciate the efforts of all the field veterinarians, because today's workshop would give them food for thought, so that they can contemplate on what they are doing, what they more need to do, and how they can really bring about change in their outlook, their perspective, and bring out the best in themselves for the treatment, for the upkeep, for everything of the animals. In the end, I would again, once again, thank IVRI, Dr. Gorakhmal also, Dr. Rinku also, and all of you, the esteemed faculty of IVRI, and for organizing this wonderful workshop. And hopefully we'll be seeing many more endeavors in this manner. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Appreciations and expectations from us, and on the various issues raised by you. Certainly, we will be trying to resolve those things. Now, in this series, I would request Honorable Director, Vice Chancellor, Dr. Trimariddas sir, today's program chief guest, to address the gathering, please.
Thank you. A very good morning to all of you. Dr. Sandeep Ratna, Deputy Director, Animal Husbandry, Government of Himachal Pradesh. Esteemed Joint Director, colleagues of IVRI, Dr. K.P. Singh, Dr. S.K. Mejdatta, Dr. S.K. Singh, Dr. Roop Sitiwari, and Joint Director, Mukteshwar Campus, Dr. YPS Malik, Joint Director, IVRI Bengaluru Campus, Dr. Pallab Chaudhary, esteemed Head of Divisions of IVRI, Dr. Gorakhmal, Head Regional Center, Palampur, Head Regional Center, IVRI ERS, Velgachia, Kolkata, Head Center, IVRI Pune, Dr. Ethel. It is indeed a matter of great pleasure to meet you all again in a very important interface meet with the senior officials and the veterinary officials working in the field of Government of Himachal Pradesh. Dear colleagues, as you are aware that the IVRI is a heritage institute of animals, veterinary and animal science. It has completed more than 135 years of glorious journey. It has 6 well-established joint directorate and 28 well-equipped research divisions and sections, including 11 research sections and 17 the service sections. So, IVRI has a great role in controlling and eradicating the various deadly livestock and poultry diseases. Institute have produced more than 50 veterinary biologicals for controlling these important diseases. To recognize our contributions in the area of the development of veterinary biologicals, Government of India have issued a special postal stamps and also the special postal covers. The institute have well established 3 campus and 3 various regional stations. We have completed 134 years in the research, human resource development, outreach activities, and the human resource development is one of the important activities of this institute. We are imparting UG educations in 2 important disciplines, that is BBSc and BTech Biotech. We are also imparting MBSc in 19 various important disciplines of veterinary science and 17 PhD disciplines. And also recently we have also introduced MBA in Agri-Business Management. In tune of National Education Policy 2020 and also the expectations of the government, various state government, we have introduced 90 various diplomas, certificate courses and training courses. Now the skill development and capacity building of the stakeholders working in the field, State Agriculture University, State Veterinary University, and also in the industry have become a more important and flexible activity of this institute. Why I am emphasizing this? Since the updation of the knowledge of the state officials, especially working in the field, is now become very important. The Government of India have already initiated a flagship programs for controlling various 4 important diseases in the country. So each and every state have a great role in successful implementing the Government of India's program. We have successfully commercialized 46 technologies to various our 159 commercial houses, and out of these 46 technologies, our 13 important vaccines and 9 diagnostics. We have also having a very rich IPR portfolio. which comprised, we have already received 32 patents, 24 designs, and 44 copyrights. And I am happy to share that a total number of 175 our various applications related to patent, copyright, and design are into the various stages of consideration. So, in addition to this, our research and teaching and outreach activities, we have been given responsibility to cater the need of the nation through our various 6 important programs. One is we are already providing technical backstopping to various national animal disease control programs through supplying various diagnostics, reagents, in addition to the quality control testing of veterinary biologicals. Quality control testing of veterinary biologicals is our reflexive activity. We are also providing a total number of 11 various reason to various industry, state biologicals, academic institutions for R&D and diagnostic activities through biological product divisions. We have an well-equipped Center for Animal Disease Research and Diagnosis, which are mainly responsible for attending outbreak, providing national advisories, and also guiding various RDDLs. Because this Government of India have given the status of CDDL to this cadre directorate. In addition to these important 4 national services, we are also providing health advisories to various zoos, safaris, rescue centers, tiger reserves regularly. We have full-fledged referral center for this veterinary polyclinic, RBP. So these are the various 6 responsibility we are also catering the need of the nation. If we talk about our achievement of 23 and 24, we have developed 3 important vaccines, namely PPR, goat pox combined vaccine, buffalo pox and camel pox. We have also recently commercialized our PPR goat pox combined vaccines, IVD, to various commercial houses. Another vaccine technologies, the PPR and CPOX, have been recently developed by IVRI. Further, the need of the nation, the thermotolerant PPR and also the thermotolerant FMD B serotype O have been developed by IVRI recently. And keeping in view of the requirement of the nation, we have also developed the marker vaccine for foot and mouth disease recently. And I think very soon we are going to commercialize this marker vaccine for FMD. This will be required when we will be entering into the eradication phase of FMD program. So these are our the flagship achievements. Recently, we have achieved. In addition to these, our this achievement in livestock health, we are also continuously providing the the support, the programs like a genetic improvement of livestock. Under this programs, we have recently developed two important breeds using crossbreeding programs. One important breed is in the Bandhavani, having 50% exotic germplasm from Frisian, Sahiwal, Frisian, Jersey, and Brown Swiss, and 50% the indigenous germplasm. So this is the flagship our programs, and this breeds is suitable for this tropical regions, producing 3,200 kg of milk in a lactations in a lactations, and also having the property of this more resistant to this tropical climate. We have also developed one breed in pig, that is Landly, using the Landrace as an exotic and local pig as a indigenous pig. This breed is also having a good production and also the reproduction capability. Through this breed, we have developed around 100 plus entrepreneurs in across various states of North India. We have also, in tune of our the zero non-descript programs, we have also registered two important breed. One is Rohilkhandi and other is Rohilkhandi breed of goat, and other is the Gurra breed of pig. And we are also submitted one proposal of for registering Chaugarga goat of from the Mukteswar campus. And recently, we are going to submit one important document for registration of the important cattle breeds which are prevailing in and around the Rohilkhand and division, and also some part of Lucknow division. So this we are I think within the days of 15 days we are going to submit this document to the NVAGR. In addition to this, we have also developed a total number of 178 entrepreneurs and startup through our agribusiness and Raftar AVI program. This is our also a very important activity of the institute. We have also developed 59 various ICT tools related to livestock health, production, and value additions. To which I think have been which are being used by more than 4 lakhs people across 134 countries. So this shows our reach. In addition to these, our 59 ICT tools, we have also developed online veterinary clinic which are the extensive version of our RBP. And we have also developed recently the artificial intelligence based chatbot, mainly for dairy, sheep and goat, and pig. So now these ICT tools are very useful for capacity building of our state officials working in the field. So, and in tune of our experience due to our last interface meet, we have several officials given the requirement of various package, a scientific package of practices by IVRI. So we have already developed a document of more than 175 scientific package of practices developed by IVRI in hard copies and also in the form of soft copies. So after this meetings, we will be sharing this important document to our all officials who have been registered under this interface meet. In earlier also, I think we have organized interface meet with the State Department of Animal Husbandry, Palampur, Himachal Pradesh, and we have a good linkages with the State Line Department of Palampur, this Himachal Pradesh. I think during 2009 and 14, a series of trainees for paravets and also for veterinary officials working in the field, this institute have organized. And in the last interface meeting, we have identified some of important researchable issues, technology requirement of the for the state, and also the training requirement of the state. So this document we have already compiled and proceeding we have made, and for this interface we will be preparing structured proceeding as far as the requirement of the state is concerned, and also the researchable issues generated in addition to the feedback of our technologies developed by IVRI. So I think these are a very robust platform for IVRI to make a great linkages with the state line department, to cater the need of the state department, and in addition to this, to include the issues related to the research in our researchable agenda also, and to take a feedback of our technologies. So these are the various advantages of our this interface meets. So I sincerely believe that these workshops and interface meets, I think, will give us a very strong platform, making our linkages very strong, and to work as per the need of the state government, handhold the various state biologicals, and also the taking the feedback of our technologies beside the issues related to the research. So with this remark, I am really grateful to the state government of Himachal Pradesh making this event successfully possible. And hopefully we will work hard strengthening the department of animal husbandry, Himachal Pradesh, especially related to the capacity building of our officials, and also the other technological and research and training requirement of the state. So, with these remarks, thanks to Dr. Roopsi Tiwari and her team for giving this very important platforms, and thanks to our all esteemed joint director colleagues and the distinguished head of divisions, and my gratitude to Department of Animal Husbandry, Government of Himachal Pradesh. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your remarks. Now, at the end of this inaugural session, I would request Dr. Gorakhmal, sir, for the vote of thanks, please. Gorakhmal, sir.
Good morning, everyone. Most honorable and distinguished chief guest, Dr. Triveni Das, sir, Vice Chancellor cum Director of ICR IVRI Esteemed Institute. Most esteemed guest of honor, Dr. Sandeep Ratan, Deputy Director, who is representing Director Animal Husbandry Department, Himachal Pradesh. Most respected Dr. Roopsi Tiwari, Joint Director Extension Education, ICR IVRI Ijitnagar, Dr. KP Singh, sir, Joint Director Kadrat, ICR IVRI Ijitnagar, Dr. S.K. Mendiratta, sir, Joint Director Academic, ICR IVRI Ijitnagar, Dr. S.K. Singh, Joint Director, sir, ICR IVRI Ijitnagar, Dr. Pallav Chaudhary, Joint Director, Bengaluru Campus, Dr. YPS Malik, Joint Director, Muktesar Campus, Dr. Arnav Sen, Head of Regional Center, ERS, Kolkata, Dr. H.B. Athel, Station Charge, TEC, Pune, all Head of Division, Section Charges, my colleagues and participants. I would like to take this opportunity to record my deep regards and heartfelt thanks to Dr. Triveni Das, sir, Vice Chancellor cum Director of ICR IVR Ijitnagar, for the right support and generous guidance for organizing the workshop and interface meeting followed. Director sir has been truly an inspirational personality for all of us. Sir, we will never forget the kind gesture extended to us. Thank you so much, sir. I would further extend the hearty thanks and deep gratitude to Dr. Sandeep Ratan, Deputy Director, Animal Production Directorate of Animal Husbandry, Shimla, for his passionate support and joining timely in absence of Dr. P.K. Sharma. Thank you so much, sir. Moreover, I will thank Director as well as Deputy Director for deputing veterinary officers of State Department Animal Husbandry for this interface meeting come workshop. I would, on the occasion, I would especially thank to Dr. Roopsi Tiwari, Joint Director, Extension Education, ICR IVR Ijitnagar, for being a constant source of motivation and guiding force in our endeavor and efforts to organizing the workshop come interface meeting. I, on behalf of ICR IVR Region Station Palampur, express our deep sense of respect and gratitude for the generous direction and support from all the joint directors, including Dr. K.P. Singh, J.D. Kadrat, Dr. S.K. Mendiratta, sir, Joint Director Academics, Dr. S.K. Singh, Joint Director Research, Dr. Pallav Chaudhary, Joint Director Bengaluru Campus, Dr. YPS Malik, Joint Director Muktesar Campus, Dr. Arnav Sen, Head of Regional Center, ERS Kolkata, Dr. HPFL, Station in Charge, all esteemed Head of Division and Section in Charge. Moreover, a special thanks goes to co-organizing secretaries, coordinators, all member organizing team of ICR IVR Ijitnagar and ICR IVR Regional Station for their unflinching support and for coordination of this event. My deep sense of heartfelt thanks and appreciation goes to all the participants, including veterinary officers, senior higher officials, scientists from CSR, IHBT, and IVR faculty who are attending the meeting. Finally, I would like to thank all the known and unknown hands that has contributed towards this remarkable event. And in the end, thank you all so very much for being with us today. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. With this, we have completed the inaugural session. Moving ahead with this program, in the technical session one, I would request our Joint Director, Dr. S.K. Singh, sir, Joint Director Research, and co-chair, who is a chairperson and co-chairperson, Dr. Birbal Singh, sir, to continue this technical session one, please.
Thank you, Dr. Akhilesh. A very good morning to all of you. Most respected Director ICRI, Dr. Premidas sir, Joint Director Cadre, Dr. K.P. Singh sir, Joint Director Academic, Dr. S.K. Mandirata sir, main architect of this series, Dr. Ruchi Tiwari Madam, Joint Director Extension Education, Joint Director Bangalore, Dr. Pallab Chaudhary sir, Joint Director Mukteshwar, Dr. YPS Malik, Head of the Regional Station, Dr. Arnab Sen sir, Dr. Kolkata, Dr. Gorakhmal, all head of the division, scientists, and above all the participants, those who have joined this interface meet series, and which is very unique in the sense. Now this is the feedback series. Now we are going to have a feedback. First feedback series, interface meet series is there. So we had a meeting last 9th June. So almost 1 year has passed. So now it is a good time to have a feedback. What we had first time and now what we are, how we are going to move this time. So as far as this technical session is concerned, I have been given responsibility and I am thankful to the organizers. In this technical session, the co-chairperson is Dr. Birbal, rapporteur is Dr. Gauri and Dr. Ajayta, and the coordinator of this session is Dr. U.S. Pati and Dr. Akhilesh. So I will request the rapporteurs of this to note down the proceedings of this particular technical session. And as far as the importance of this technical session is concerned, this is very important because I am seeing there are four research achievement is there. There are 4 speakers are there, and all these topics it is based on the feedback which I saw. So when they are very pertinent to the feedback of the government of Environment Department, government of Himachal Pradesh. So the first topic is effective utilization of unconventional feed resources for producing quality fodder in Hilly region. Dr. S. Chaudhary, who is the head almond nutrition division, he is going to speak on this particular topic. And if I see the feedback, even Director Environment Department has given this kind of key. We have to map the unconventional feed resources of this Himachal Pradesh so that we can have an alternate feed resources. So I will request Dr. S. Chaudhary sir to the card.
Hello. Thank you, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir. Good morning, everyone. So I'll be discussing about the effective utilization of unconventional feeds resources for livestock in the hilly region. So as it was told, this is the feedback from the previous workshop which was held last year. So as far feed and fodder scenario of the Himachal Pradesh is concerned, since the state is in the hilly region, so major constraint in animal production is the scarcity of the feed and fodder. Very important problems which affects the animal production. State has a deficit of all the feed ingredients, including concentrate, green fodders as well as dry fodders. And there are several estimates, but all said that there is a shortage of feed and fodders in the state. As the geographical advantage of the state is concerned, it has very big floral diversity, natural grasses, crop residues, tree leaves, and are the major fodder resources in the state. The naturally occurring grasses and tree leaves, more than 80 fodder trees, and more than 40 shrubs are being used as a feed resources by the livestock owners in the state. There is a gap in the demand and supply of feed and fodders, which affects adversely the productivity of the livestock. So the use of unconventional feeds offers an opportunity to increase the availability of the fodder in the state, and which will be having an advantageous effect on the livestock productions. Next, please. So in the state, two type of unconventional fodders are available. One is the grass and pastures. A significant proportion of the total geographical area, 53 lakh hectare, is earmarked for the pastures and grazing lands, and the grasses and pastures of Himachal Pradesh varies on the basis of lower hills, middle hills, and high hills. Different type of grasses and pastures are available, and they are being used as a source of the livestock feed. The herbaceous production in the higher hills are less than the lower hills. As far as CP content of the forages and roughages is concerned, the lower hills of roughages are having CP content between 4 to 5%. However, the roughages of and forages of higher hills, they have more CP content ranging from 8 to 10%. Next, please. As far as tree leaves is concerned, the tree leaves is being used as alternate source for quality fodder in the hills, and many times the leaves of the tree leaves are just equivalent as far as nutritive value is concerned to the leguminous fodder which are being routinely being fed to the animals. So tree leaves are very rich in the protein content. There are two main reasons for growing the fodder for tree purposes. One is it is very good as far as protein source is concerned, and also the leaves are available when during the lean season, when normal feed and fodder is not available in that area for feeding to the animals. As far as CP content is concerned, the grasses which contains around 5 to 6% CP content, in comparison to that, the tree leaves are very high as far as protein content is concerned. The protein content varies from 18 to 20% in many cases in the green tree of the forages, but there is a incrementing factors are also present in the leaves of plants, which are sometimes toxic to the animals. As far as fodder tree is concerned, they can replace the concentrate mixture to great extent, and sometimes they have complementary effect as far as production of animal is concerned, as far as milk. The dietary level of fodder trees and shrubs should be used about 15 to 50% depending upon the type of leaves which we want to use in the rations, or it can be used as a 1 to 1.5 kg per 100 kg body weight of the animals. Next, please. So this is the list of the major tree fodders which are available in the state, like Beol, Rubinia, Kashnar, all those, and they are being routinely being used as a fodder source by the ruminant, by the animals. And the CP content, DCP here, the CP content of almost all the tree leaves are very high, and they can serve as a maintenance and sometimes as a production ration for the livestock. Next, please. Some of the tree leaves we'll be describing in the detail to the willow tree leaves is one of the very important tree leaves which are being popularized in the state. Beside its fodder, the willow has capacity to be used as a fencing, and also it protects the river bank and also the soil erosion. So it has another advantage also apart from fodder. It can be used for all those purposes also. The leaves are very good. It contains about 20% CP. Depends upon the maturity of the fodder. Protein content is very high, but simultaneously in the mature fodder, the lignin content, which is one of the very important incrementing factor, it reduces the digestibility of the feed, and also the tannin. Tannin is also considered to be one of the toxic principles which are present in the feed, and that care has to be taken while feeding to the animal this leaf. The intake and palatability of leaves are very good and can be fed up to 40% in the diet without affecting the performance of the animals. Next, please. Another important source of unconventional feed is the bamboo leaves. Now, several categories of the bamboo leaves are available in the state, and they are having good quality of the protein, around 10% CP content is present in the leaves of the bamboo. And also they can be used for feeding to the livestock when not good quality of the fodder is present in the state. Next, please. Oak tree leaves is again very common. It is available in most of the hill states above 2000 mean sea level, and the lopping season of this oak tree leaves is the October and February, and yield is also very good. In one time, about 15 kg leaves from one plant can be harvested. The CP content is very high, very good. It is about 9 to 13% depending upon the availability. But the incrementing factor or toxic factor which are present in the oak tree leaves is the tannin. And mainly it is in the form of hydroxyl, which is the more toxic than the condensed tannin. Therefore, care has to be taken that when we feed the branch leaf to the livestock, the quantity has to be restricted. Not more than 30% of total ration has to be given to the animals. If it is given to higher concentration, then toxicity may occur in the animals. Next, please. As I said earlier, the tree leaves are also rich in the plant secondary metabolites. So it was considered earlier as a negative point, but these plant secondary metabolites has also the functional property. If plant secondary metabolites containing feed are given to the animals, there is a parasitic load reduction in the GI tract. So the toxic effect of the plant secondary metabolites can be exploited if they are given at lower concentration than the toxic level. And also, now a lot of concern is about the environmental pollution, especially in the form of enteric methane production by the ruminants. And also when the tree leaves which are containing plant secondary metabolites are fed to the animals, there is a reduction in the enteric methane production in the animals. So in that way, it has added advantage if you are providing tree leaves in lower concentration to the livestock. And also, not only these two property can be exploited, the condensed tannin present in the most of the tree leaves are also having a protein production property. So it reduces the degradability of the protein in the rumen when they are fed to the animals and make it available to the lower tract. In that way, they improve the protein efficiency of the animals. So in that way, this functional property of the tree leaves can be exploited for the advantage of the livestock production improving. Next, please. As I said earlier, the leaves can be used to reduce the parasitic load, especially the hemancas in the animals, if the tannin containing feed are being fed to the animals. Next, please. And also, second part is the advances in the silage making. Now, a lot of talking is about the silage making. The good thing with the silage is that when we have plenty of the fodders or in the area where fodder is more, in that way, the silage can be prepared and this can be transported to the area where during the lean season or where the green fodder is not available. So the advances which has been made, it is very well established technology. It is being practiced throughout the globe. But the advances which are being made in the silage making is in the 4 area only. Number 1 is the improvement in the fodder crops. Mainly now in the country, good quality of the maize are available, known as sugar grain sorghum. It has very high content of the soluble sugars and can be used for the silage making, and the silage prepared by this crop is very good. Improvement silo also, earlier the silage was made in the permanent pit or something like that, but now the poly bags are available that can be used and it can be transported, and a small quantity of the feed, half quintal or 1 quintal bag can be used and it can be transported easily from one place to another place. Improvement the silage is the third aspect, and fourth one is the machinery parts. So all those things are available. When it has been used, the silage quality can be improved. Next, please. So the unconventional feed which are available in the state, mainly the apple pomace and also several fruit and vegetable waste. they can be ensiled by using a different proportion of the waste available in the state and can be used as a good quality of the feed and fodder for the livestock by using a restricted quantity, 10 to 30% of the total diet. Next, please. Scarcity feed are also available like urea molasses liquid diet during natural calamity is a good survival feed, and along with limited amount of the wheat extra, it can save the life of the animals when nothing is there to feed the animals. Urea molasses mineral block is using cold process has been prepared, and it can be also used during the scarcity period or when nothing is there to feed. Complete feedback can be prepared and can be easily transported from one place to another place, and it will serve also a good source of the fodder when scarcity of the feeds are available. Next, please. So to conclude the talk, the tree leaves are moderate to good source of protein, and minerals are also present in very high concentration in the tree leaves. However, the high tannin content in some of the tree leaves are having negative parameters and reduces the digestibility of the feed if they are given in high concentrations. There is a need to develop a region-specific strategy for propagating fodder trees and utilizing them for animal feeding. The different bamboo cultivars and willow reed leaves can be exploited for feeding of the animals. The cultivation of important fodder like bajra, sargam, maize during the kharif and also oat, barsim in the rabi should be encouraged to fill the gap of the shortage of the feed and fodder in some area. The silage needs to be popularized, and crop residues in leach technology, as we discussed, should be promoted to fill the gap of shortage of the feed in the state. Next, please. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for completing the talk this time. So, but it was very fruitful. I think it has given a good impetus to those who are listening to this talk. And now I'm moving ahead with the second topic of this session. It is the identifying the infertility and repeat breeders and their management practice strategies. It will be given by Dr. M.H. Khan, who is the head and representative division of this prestigious institute. And I'm surprising infertility and repeat breeding. Two different things have been given. So repeat breeding is an integral part of infertility, but I think the feedback was like that. So repeat breeding is one of the most important problems as far as my knowledge is concerned in the Himachal region. So being at crossbeds have been popularized much, but I think it is good. Now I will request Dr. M.H. Khan to deliver the talk. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Respected Director and Vice Chancellor, IBRI, all the Joint Directors present here, and Joint Directors for the regional stations and centers, Deputy Director and veterinary officials, Department of Animal Husbandry and Veterinary, Government of Himachal Pradesh, and all the heads and distinguished scientists present here. Very good morning and warm welcome to all of you. And the topic which has been allotted to me is the infertility and repeat breeding. Although infertility also includes the repeat breeding, but this is very relevant topic. What I understand is that means identifying the infertility problem. That is the major hurdle in the field, because most of us, we do not identify, or without identifying the proper cause, we go for the treatment. And that is the major problem here. Infertility we can define is the temporary loss of fertility that result in the failure to produce or delay in producing the normal life calf. And it is a very complex and multifactorial in nature. And it is manifested in the two forms. Either the animal will suffer with anestrus or animal will go for repeat breeding. The two manifestation only, but there are various factors. Next, please. Let us have a look at the factors which are responsible for bovine infertility, starting with the nutritional deficiency. If the animal is suffering with the nutritional deficiency, not properly fed, then the puberty will be delayed. And if it is not properly fed in the pre-calving and post-calving period, then various infertility problems will occur. Genetic causes, there may be the autosomal recessive genes which causing infertility. There are many congenital abnormalities are also there, like aplasia of the ovary, hypoplasia of the ovary, the adhesion of the ovary with the peritoneal cavities, and many more. Infectious causes, if the animal is suffering with the chronic debilitating disease, that will lead to infertility. And if the animal is suffering with the severe parasitic infestation, it will also lead to infertility. Reproductive disorder like the cystic ovaries, pyometra, torsion, dystocia, retention of fetal membrane, that may also lead to the bovine infertility. Managemental errors, there are certain managemental factors like the housing, the ventilation, the hygiene practices followed. Endocrine disorders, there are certain hormones which are deficient like the progesterone, LH, TGF2 alpha, GnRH. This may also lead to the bovine infertility. And poor quality semen, this is also most common problem. And if we do not using the proper semen, a good quality semen, it will lead to the infertility. Environmental factors like the heat stress, cold stress is also responsible for infertility. And the most important is unskilled technicians. In the field, you might have seen that many of the AI technicians are also doing practices, and they also used to treat the animal that they are making the situation more worse. Next, please. Now, in association with that, apart from this, there are many risk factors are also available like age. If the animal is more than 10 years of age, it will become infertile or it will go to infertility. Parity, if more than fifth parity, infertility will be more. Body condition score is less than 2.5 or it is more than 4, then it will lead to infertility. Milk production, it is very common in high yielders animals. Environmental condition also the microenvironment of the animal which affect the fertility. System of rearing, whether we are rearing the animal in intensive system, free range system or semi-intensive system, that will also affect the fertility. Next, please. Now we are coming to ancestors first. The ancestors, there are various etiology and we have to identify the etiology. Once we identify the etiology, then it's very easy to treat the animals. Now, if any animal is presented to before us for ancestors, then we have to check first the ovaries. There may be three conditions you will find in the ovary. Number one, there may be a smooth ovary, no follicular activity and no CL will be present. Second situation, abnormal ovary means the ovary will be aplastic, no ovary at all. Hypoplasia of the ovary, there will be ovarian cyst or there may be the ovarian adhesions. Number third condition, there will be a CL, corpus luteum. In that case, there may be two situations, and the CL may be present in if the animal is pregnant, that is physiological ancestors, and if the animal is not present, then maybe uterine pathology like mummification, maceration, hydrometra, mucometra, and pyometra, etc. In first two situations, whether it is a smooth ovary or abnormal ovary, there will be a gonadotropin insufficiency that will lead to the bovine infertility. And in third case, there will be no PGF2 alpha secretion and animal will be infertile. Next, please. How to manage the ancestors cases? The first, you rule out the pregnancy first. You check the animal and sure that animal is not pregnant. Second, you see there should not be any congenital defect. Number three, uterine pathological condition if you ruled out. And if you find any pathological condition, then you treat accordingly. Ovarian cyst, if it is present, you give the treatment. I'm not going to discuss the treatment case by case, but there are standard treatment protocols available in the literature. You can go through it. And if you do not find all the four cases, then you deworm the animal first. Do the deworming, supplement the mineral mixture at the rate of 50 to 60 grams per day. Balanced diet, you provide the balanced diet as per the physiological state and production state of the animal. And number four, twice daily observation of the heat through bull parading as well as the visual observation. Herbal treatment, there are many herbal stimulants are available in the market like Sajani, Pajana, Janova, etc. You can go for it. And lastly, if you don't find solution in these two, then you can go for the hormonal supplementation if required. Next, please. The IVRI has developed one herbal preparation that is the mixture of curry leaf and bay leaf powder, and it is mixed in the ratio of 1:1. And this powder, if you feed the animal 200 grams per day for 5 days, the animal will come into heat. Next. This is also another preparation. This is the mineral preparation from the IVRI. It's named with IVRI Fertisure, and it is marketed by the many companies. It is a mixture of many trace minerals and micro minerals, and it also causes the enhancements of the fertility of the animal. Next, please. In literature, we have found some of the herbal components which are useful for induction of the estrus and increasing the fertility, like the methi seeds, soaked methi seed, 20 gram, you can feed per day, germinated Bengal gram, 200 gram for a week, and onion once in a month, 2 to 3 kg unripe papaya, and satavari root, and ashoka tree leaves, 130 gram for 24 days. These we have found in the literature. What are the active components? I do not know. Next, please. Hormonal treatment. And if you, at the last, I will recommend all the veterinarians, please use the hormone very judiciously, because, and it should be a last resort. There are various hormone protocols are available, like the protocol using the most prevalent for anestrus is the progesterone treatment in the form of the PRID or CIDR. You can go for the GnRH plus prostaglandin. You can go for the Usinch or Cosinch protocol. There are many, several protocols are available in the literature. You can go through it. Next, please. Now, next is the repeat breeding. And here again, we have to find out, there are several causes of repeat breeding. We have to find out what is the etiology. Repeat breeding occurs because of the two reasons. First is either there will be a failure of fertilization, or there will be early embryonic mortality. In case of failure of fertilization, when you check the ovary, you will find that there is anovulation. Means animal is coming into heat, you have inseminated the animal, but there is no ovulation. And second case may be the delayed ovulation, that the ovulation is delayed. And number third situation may be the defective ovum. Ova has been ovulated, but it is defective, though fertilization will not occur. And number three is sperm defect. If the sperm is defective or the quality of semen is not good, then there will be a fertilization failure. Improper timing of AI. If our technician is not expert and the proper timing has not been judged, then there are chances the fertilization will not occur. Congenital defect. There are several conditions where fertilization will not occur, like fallopian tube blockade. Sometimes there is a blockade in the fallopian tube. In that case, ovulation will occur, but there will be no fertilization. Ovarian cyst. In the ovarian cyst condition also, there will be no fertilization. And number two situation is early embryonic mortality. In case of early embryonic mortality, there are situations like clinical or subclinical endometritis. That is, the uterine environment is not conducive for the development of the embryo, and the embryo will die. Hormonal insufficiency. The LH insufficiency is very common. Progesterone deficiency is also very common. That in these cases, the embryo will not survive. Nutritional deficiency, like the deficiency of selenium and vitamin E, that is very important for implantation of the embryo. And if there is a deficiency of selenium and vitamin E, the embryo will not survive. Uterine infection. In various uterine infections also, the early embryonic mortality occurs. Environmental factor like heat stress. Heat stress is also one of the factors which affect the survivability of the embryo. Toxins, if the toxins are available in the field, then also there will be a early embryonic mortality. Next, please. Now, strategy to improve the fertility. Now, if the case of the repeat breeding comes to you, you check two things. You ask the farmers the history of heat detection, whether the heat detection is proper or not proper. If it is inadequate heat detection, that is, farmer is not able to detect the heat properly, or the record is not maintained properly, then you can go for the timed AI. There are various protocols available, like Cosinch protocol. You can go and you go for the timed AI protocol. If you think that the heat detection is proper, then you can check for delayed ovulation or anovulation. You can also check the possibilities of the uterine infection like endometritis or subclinical endometritis. Next, please. And number one, rule out the error in the heat detection, incorrect timing of AI, incorrect AI technique, endometritis. And then you again see two things, whether the animal is repeating before 25 days or it is repeating between 35 to 40 days. If the animal is repeating before 25 days, then you can go to administer GnRH at the time of AI. At the time of AI, you can administer GnRH. You can give the HCG after 4 to 5 days post AI. If the animal is repeating 35 to 40 days after AI, then you can administer GnRH 11 to 12 days after AI. And this is the very well known by you, this OC protocol, GnRH, PG, then again GnRH, you can go for fixed time AI. So this was all about this repeat breeding anistus. Any question, we can discuss it later. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Khan, for highlighting the two important problems, which normally it is ubiquitous in nature throughout the India, but it is also very common problem in case of Himachal Pradesh, like anistus and repeat breeding. So I think in the question will be taken now. Yeah. So any questions, queries will be taken into the last technical session. That is 2. So now the third technical session 1, the third topic is issues of antimicrobial resistance and role of ethnomedicine in addressing antimicrobial resistance. So, yes. So this is another very important problem. Now, the concern of the government of India, as well as the concern for all medical professionals, veterinary professionals, environmental, everybody is bothered about the antimicrobial resistance. And so that's why this topic has been chosen, and there was one feedback also on this particular topic. So now Dr. Samiran Bandyopadhyay, who is a principal scientist posted at ICRI here at Kolkata. He has done a lot of research work in this particular area, and he is a very competent personality in this particular field. So now I request Dr. Samiran Bandyopadhyay to deliver his talk.
Thank you, sir. Honorable Director and Vice Chancellor of ICR-IVRI, Joint Directors, strengthening in charges of different regional campuses, respected heads, distinguished scientists, distinguished veterinary officers, and my dear friends. As we all know that AMR or antimicrobial resistance is probably the biggest threat faced by the human civilization since its inceptions. And the mostly or adversely affected persons will be who are poverty stricken, and low and middle income countries will be the mostly affected. And the best thing is that it is the bacteria which are smarter than us. That's why they have developed the resistance. And whenever the new drugs comes, they develop their own mechanisms. The impact is severe. If we see other than the deaths, there will be severe economic loss for the AMR. There will be almost $100 trillion loss and 3.5% reduction in the global GDP. 28 million people will be slipped down the poverty. And the reduction of global export will be 3.8%. And more importantly for us, that there are about there is estimation that the livestock production will fall by 8%. And if we see the bacteria, there are more than 100 different genes are responsible. That's why, and they are morely versatile and they are mobile. They can transfer from one host to another host. That makes the antimicrobial resistance is such a complicated problems. And in some of the bacteria, the gene cluster may carry more than 10 resistance genes altogether, and that make the bacteria superbugs or multi-drug resistance or extremely drug resistance. If we see the 2050 scenario, the death due to AMR will surpass the death due to the other major contributors like diabetes, diarrheal illness, road traffic accidents, measles, or tetanus. And there are various factors, but the most the single most important driver of AMR is the irresponsible and excessive use of antibiotics. And if we see the global scenario, the more antibiotics are used in animal sector. That is majorly because of the more animals are in number than the human beings on these planets. And on it data, it has been estimated that more than 1.31 lakh tons of antibiotics were consumed in 2013, and the projected increase will be 2 lakh tons. And there will be 100% increase in the BRICS countries, which includes India. If we see in the livestock sector, most of the antibiotics which are used in the livestock sectors are also defined as critically important antimicrobials of highest priorities by World Health Organization, which includes cephalosporins and fluoroquinones. And the impact of the AMR is only assessed at a one-sided manner, that is its impact on the human sector, but the impact on the animal health will be no less severe. If we see where we are finding the big bugs for this bad bugs from our animal health surveillance system, we can list a series of disease. We have an idea that it is a problem only in case of the mastitis. Of course, in mastitis is a major problem, but for other infections in animal sectors, we have identified where the resistant infections with the resistance organism make it more complicated, like post-surgical infection, osteomyelitis, canine pododermatitis, canine demo. In case of companion animals, the problem is more intense. Even in case of porcine mastitis, metritis, agalexia syndromes, in all these sectors, we have found that there is a role of MDROs in complicating the disease scenario. The possible solution is discover the new drugs, as we do not have a new drugs after 1990s. Again, to optimize or rationalize the use of drugs in case of human and animal sector, and prevention of the disease by increased biosafety measures. These are the overall scenario. The global and national responses are much more intense, taking into consideration the robustness of the problem. First, World Health Organization came with their global action plan against AMR, which later on taken by Food and Agriculture Organization, World Organization of Animal Health, and UNEP. And it is the fourth health issue which has been discussed in United Nations General Assembly. In all the highest political and high-level political meetings of international meetings, it is a discussed issue. And India adopted its National Action Plan in 2017. And this is the major 4 objectives, major 6 objectives of National Action Plan on AMR by India. Its second phase is ongoing now. It will be soon in a place. And we have a major objectives where every point which is related to AMR has been taken care within National Action Plan on AMR. Till now, we have a report that Delhi, MP, and Kerala have adopted their national state action plan on AMR. Now, ICR also has taken a serious concern about it, and we have a network program which was called INFAR, which was in place since 2019, wherein the 11 animal health centers and 9 fisheries centers were working. Now, this year it will be it has emerged in a bigger manner, wherein 21 animal science centers and 10 fisheries center will work on. That will cover almost 17 states for the animal sectors and 10 states for the fisheries sectors. We have a uniform sampling frame. We have a uniform standard operating protocol to conduct the AMR surveillance in the food animals. And the gist of the things, I am just trying to summarize what we have found from the whole India scenario, that most of the gram-negative pathogens, particularly the E. coli, are resistant to the cefotaxime, amikacins, and tetracycline. The more intense resistance has been seen in case of the cefotaxime, wherein for the gram-positives, we have seen the resistance mostly against the penicillins. But what is the silver lining is that when we have bifurcated the analysis from before 2022 and after 2022, we have seen a gradual decline in many of the resistance profile you can see. But this resistance profile is not uniform. It depends upon various risk factors, where from you are collecting the samples, whether it is from the farm origin or market origin, where from you are collecting the host, the pathogens, their phyllotypes. These are all the major determining factors. And we are using HUNET software, where from we are making this surveillance network vivid. And not only the surveillance network, we are also targeting on the antimicrobial uses, because I have already discussed that it is linked with the antimicrobial uses, and these protocols are very easy to estimate the antimicrobial consumption at the farm level, which you can also adopt at your level, and you can make a surveillance what is the level of antimicrobial consumption over the years. Now, ethno-veterinary medicine is a field which is encompassing its projection to protect the human and animal health. Ethno-veterinary medicine will focus on the animal health, and these are gathered knowledge over the years, over the generations, and these are very precious storehouse. But over the years, what happens when the modern medicine has come? These have been lost. But in the rural background, we are still preserving, at least in the veterinary sectors. There are various ethno-veterinary practices which are being followed in case of dairy animals. And I am not elaborating one by one, but I will try to point out some of the major herbs which are being concocted for different type of preparations. Like in case of worms, we are taking Allium sepium, Allium sativum, or Azadirachta indica. Q means Curcuma longa, and these are making a spray type preparations which are being applied. And for the ectoparasite, at the same time, these type of preparations are mixed with jaggeries, and these are being consumed over the days to eliminate the worms. At the same time, I am trying to focus some of the compounds like Pipera nigra or Curcuma longa, along with jaggeries and ginger. These actually are being used for reduction of the bloat or indigestions. At ectoparasite, I have already discussed. In case of food and mouth lesions, these kind of preparations are being practiced. One of the major practice they are preparing in the ethno-veterinary practice, they are allowing the affected animal with food lesion to walk on the sands. And most of the preparation are based on the turmerics or honey based, where they are making the paste and they are applying over the lesions. And some other compounds are also being mixed up with them, like neem or garlics, which are already known for their antibacterial or antiviral property. And some of the major herbs which are used in case of bovine mastitis are Panax ginseng. This has been recorded in also in the veterinary herbal medicines books, and the application of poultice with common liquor or common tea like Camellia sinensis, or intramammary infusions of aloe vera, Ascophyllum nodosum, Calendula officinalis. IVRI has conducted one study there. The consumption of extracts containing Tinosphoria cordifolia, Azadirachta indica, and Ocimum sanctums were used for the treatment of bovine mastitis. Something gel preparations are also available. In the rural background, in case of udder edema, they are applying the preparations with turmeric powders and some of the oily base. In case of mastitis, what I was telling, these compounds are making in the form of a paste, which includes lemons, curry leaves, lime, turmerics, and aloe vera to make a topical preparations. Now, there are some other alternatives which were also tried at IVRI or other regional state or other research organizations, where you can use some of the drugs like Echinacea purpurea and Thuja occidentalis to boost up the udder immunity in the farms where there is more prevalence of mastitis. Years back, they have also tried with a poly-homeopathic combinations, which were found much effective and economical in the management of mastitis. I will just try to summarize some of the drugs which are being used empirically by the veterinarians. Like in case of chronic mastitis, they are using sulfur, silesia, and carbovase 30C together. In case of acute mastitis, they are using Bryonia, Belladonna, and Artica ubians. When there is injury and there is turning to the mastitis, they are using Arnica and Bellis perinis. When there is swelling and throbbing and red hot type scenario, that is Belladonna. Udder edema, more or less you can use the epismel. In case of when animal is very declines to move and there is painful, they are using Bryonia. But after movement, if it is if it is trying to move, then you will alter it with rust off. If there is extreme sensitivity to the pain and there is indication of pus formation you are taking, then you can use Hipper salve. Whenever there are glandular inflammation, whether it is for the mastitis or for any other gland, then podophyllum is the phytolacca is the choice. And if there is indication of fibrosis, then we can alter with calcarea floor and conium maculatum. If there is evidence of blood in the milk, then we can go for Ipecac 200 and imidacloprid. Likewise, in case of diarrhea, there are several herbs has been used. One of the most used herbs is with bale and the mango seed kernels. IVRI has its own anti-diarrheal herbal formulation also as well. For the empirically, some veterinarians are used when there is profuse and repeated diarrhea is there, they are going for the podophyllums. When there is offensive rumbling or there is formation of flatulence is there, then you can use Naxvomica, Lycopodium, China, and Carbovage. If there is any evidence of something like food poisoning, then you go for the Arsenicum album. Blood and mucus presence indicates the use of Mercurus solubilis. If the condition is more acute, go for Marcor. And frequent and peripheral coldness, whenever the animal is in the latter, in a septicemic shock conditions, then they are indicating the use of Veratrum album. Now, these are the other herbs which are being used when there is indigestion, diarrhea due to indigestion. That includes Hydrastis canadiensis, Xerenia maculatum, Hamamelis virginia, Matricuria reticulata. These chamomile, these actually control the spasms of the GI tracts. I have already told that ginger, licorice, black pepper, they are used in the digestive weakness. Another concoction has been reported in veterinary herbal medicines, which include barberry, ginger, dandelion, licorice, and euphylera, which have to we give about 2 ml per kg body weight for 3 weeks. These are some of the ethno-veterinary medicines which are used, like in case of and in case of fevers. So,
Samiran, please continue. Mute हो गया आप. Please unmute, Dr. Samiran. आपने mute कर दिया. उधर से आपने mute कर दिया.
oh, okay, sir. Now it's audible.
Yes, you're audible, Dr. Samiran.
Okay. These are the some of the drugs which are empirically used in case of different kind of fevers. If the fever is accompanied with septicemia, then go for use of bacteria. If there is anxiety, like in case of horse, whenever there is onset of fever, there is much more anxiety is there. In that case, you go for the Arsenicum album. When there is extreme joint pain and discomfort is there, you can use Rastox along with Bryonia or not. High fever, headaches, these are the things which have been indications from the human medicines. If there is throbbing pain is there, go for the belladonna. In septicemia, if you want to prevent, go for the echinacea. If the fever is due to heat stress, go for glonium. These are the things. I am not deliberating all the things. So these are the things which you can use. Now, there are some veterinary medicines which are being used in case of the poultry, and there are different indications. And also, one of the important indication is use of black pepper in case of chronic respiratory disease. And they are using Andrographis paniculata as a anti-emetic. Andrographis paniculata or Calmeg is also recorded for their antiviral property and also hepatostimulants. So these are in a nutshell, and we all know the AMR is a One Health issue, and livestock and environment along with human health may play a very important role. The veterinary sector has potentially massive role to play in AMR, and it is a global problem, but one size does not fit for all. We have to take solutions from the local level, and we always have to think and rethink before we use the antibiotics. And we have to try to tap the alternative because they are the hidden gems and they can be exploited as an alternative to reduce the burden. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Samiran, for nicely telling about the AMR, which is a very important and pertinent issues in the today's world, and then followed by the ethno-veterinary practices, including some of the homeopathic practices also. So I think with this we had three important topics which were included in technical session 1. Now I shall request Dr. Yeah. So these were technical topics, no? So no. Now I request Dr. Devi Gopinath, scientist, senior skill posted at Palampur. Now she is going to tell the major of the Palampur campus. So that will help to the professionals of that particular region. So I
Doctor, ये डॉक्टर शेख प्रदोष कहीं ना
Respected Chairman, Director IVRI, JD Extension Education, Dr. Rupsi Tiwari, JD Research, JD Academy, JD Cadrad, Head of the Divisions and Section In Charges, Deputy Director, Department of Animal Husbandry, Himachal Pradesh, all the esteemed scientists, senior veterinary officers of the State Animal Husbandry Department, and students. Good morning, one and all. Today, I am presenting the research achievements of ICAR IVRA Regional Station Palampur. Coming to milestones, Palampur Regional Station ICAR IVRI was established in 1959 to cater to the research needs in the livestock rearing in northwestern Himalayan region. And in late 70s, the research mandate was expanded to carry out detailed disease investigation and diagnosis. The mandate is mainly animal nutrition, and we are working on feed resource mapping, methane emission reduction, climate neutral livestock production, and research on prevalent weed flora for their inclusion in the livestock health and feeding systems. Along with that, we are doing teaching, research, and extension activities. Addressing various regional problems and issues and the problem-solving steps by the Institute. First one is lack of quality feed, and the action taken was utilization of tea byproducts for feeding livestock and poultry, since Palampur is the tea capital of the northwestern India. And it resulted in the various recommendations like tea seed at 2.6% of the total dry matter intake and tea seed saponin at 0.4% of the total dry matter intake can be fed to goats to improve their growth rate, feed conversion ratio, and microbial protein synthesis. Secondly, tea seed saponin may be supplemented at the level of 600 ppm in broiler ration and 0.4% of the total dry matter intake in goat, respectively, to reduce their triglyceride and LDL cholesterol levels. Second was inclusion of the agro-waste-based silage in feeding gaddi goats. Codbird in Shimla is the apple bowl of India, and Solan is the mushroom city of India. These byproducts are very commonly available in our region. So the recommendations are 5 months of feeding significantly improve the feed conversion ratio, serum antioxidant, and serum lipid profile of the gaddi goat kids. And we could replace the maize in the feed up to 32%. And the meat was antioxidant enriched with improved lipid profile. Third intervention is the conservation of the native forages by ensiling for their optimal utilization for livestock production. For this, we use the local forages as well as few weeds of the region. And the recommendation was ensiling with dual and wild palm is highly recommended, and reduction in the level of anti-nutritional phytometabolites, namely oxalates and tannin polyphenols, were also observed. Then the microorganisms isolated from the silage were found to produce organic acids and tannates, which are degrading hydrolyzable tannins and oxalates, and therefore they had a greater potential as feed additive. Then the fourth action taken was less commonly foragers of the region, namely Kadvi meaty buones, jungly khajur, cane, akha, and meda were also studied for their inclusion in the animal feeding. And the outcome is Salix tetrasperma, mature tree leaves, can replace 50% of the total of the local grass for feeding to the growing goats without any adverse effects during the winter season. Then study was also conducted on oak leaves, and oak leaves can be incorporated up to 20% in the rough based diets of the adult Gadi goats. The second issue identified in the region is repeat breeding. So the action was culture sensitivity test for repeat breeding cows, and the results were provided to state animal husbandry department veterinary officers on time to time basis. And the recommendations are 40% success rate was observed in the calving, and therapeutics of choice recommended to various repeat breeders, including tetracycline in Bilaspur, Chamba, Kangra, and Kullu, ciprofloxacin was ideal in Mandi, gentamicin was most effective in Shimla, and nitrofurantoin in Una. And culture sensitivity test is most reliable and highly recommended in the therapy of repeat breeding. Third problem identified is parasitic diseases with special reference to hemoprotozoan diseases. We undertook studies on ruminant ectoparasitism and hemoprotozoan diseases in Kangra and Chamba districts of Himachal. And the results are ruminant ectoparasitism in Chamba was highly prevalent with 87.29%, and in Kangra it was 65.24%. And in cattle, major hemoprotozoans detected were Anaplasma marginale and Theileria orientalis. In sheep and goats, 55.19% were infested with Theileria lewinchni, and it was first reported from the goats of Himachal. Then theileriosis, anaplasmosis, and mixed hemoparasitic infections were very common among apparently healthy ruminants of the region. Then molecular evidences of Anaplasma capra, which is having zoonotic potential, and Theileria species MK among goats for the first time in Himachal Pradesh. Then the next problem is cryptosporidiosis, which is a less explored zoonotic and calf diarrhea. The action taken were identification of genetic diversity in Cryptosporidium parvum isolates prevalent in the bovines in the North India. And the bovine cryptosporidiosis prevalence was identified to be 11.9% among from 1417 fecal samples collected from Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, and UP. 4 different species of Cryptosporidium were identified, namely Cryptosporidium parvum, C. andersoni, C. bovis, C. ryane, for the first time in Himachal Pradesh. Then high prevalence of this condition demands the inclusion of modified seal-Nielsen staining technique in routine fecal diagnostic procedures. The second action undertaken was standardization of recombinant antigen-based ELISA for zero detection of bovine cryptosporidiosis. And in that, the outcome is Cryptosporidium parvum recombinant GP15-based indirect IgG ELISA was also standardized with a diagnostic sensitivity of 82.14%. The fourth issue of the region is plant toxicity. First, we will discuss the Lantana camara toxicity. Pathology and amelioration using herbal plants were attempted from the station. Then the resulting outcomes are Piprorhizia curava rhizome, Berberis lycium root bark, Ginkgo biloba leaves can be used to ameliorate the hepatotoxicity produced by lantana toxicity in grazing animals. Secondly, feeding of the above as a feed supplement is also highly recommended. Profiling of lantadines content in the leaves of the Lantana camara from 10 districts of Himachal Pradesh was also done. Highest concentration of lantadines was found in district Mandi, and the lowest was found in Bilaspur. The incidence was of lantana toxicity was highest in the district Kangra, followed by Mandi, Una, and Sirmaur. Second plant toxicity is Eupatorium adenoforum, which is a hepatotoxicant. the action taken was development of potential direct fed microbial from rumen of the migratory goats and sheep for enhancing livestock production. The outcome is tannage producing rumen bacteria able to degrade the Eutox A and its application as microbial feed supplement for animals is also recommended. Third issue is enzootic bovine hematuria, which is a fern-induced toxicity. Study on EBH using Dryopteris micropalaceae from the EBH endemic area. Experimental induction of pathology on long-term ingestion and amelioration were also done. The recommendations are feeding of cruciferous plants like mustard beans to cattle can inhibit the urinary bladder carcinogenesis in EBH endemic regions, and Dryopteris nigrocalaceae induced inflammatory and pre-neoplastic changes in urinary bladder of guinea pigs on long-term feeding, that is for 1 year. Then AITC limited the pre-neoplastic changes, and concentration of tachylocyde and tyrosine B in the ferns collected from Kulu and Chamba regions ranged from 0 to 358 and 0 to 652 milligram per gram respectively. Highest incidence of the condition was recorded in district Kullu, followed by Mandi, Shimla, Sirmaur, Kinnaur and Solan. Then research on milk. A major issue identified is steps towards branding of milk of native breeds. It was national priority. Then actions taken involved by prospecting of the native cattle and goats milk for bioactive potential and investigations into bioactive properties of the goat milk protein hydrolysins. The recommendations from these studies are highest percentage of fat and total solids was found in the Gaddi goat milk in comparison to local goats, Himachali Pahadi cattle and Jersey crossbred cattle milk. Then secondly, antimicrobial activity was highest in beetle goat casein protein hydrolysates against Bacillus cereus in comparison to Gaddi goat. Third, ellagic acid, a trans fatty acid, was highest in the boiled milk of the Jersey crossbred cattle, followed by the Gaddi goat and Himachali Pahadi cattle, and it was not detected in the raw milk of Himachali Pahadi cattle, Jersey crossbred, and Gaddi goat and local goats. Then there is need for research on bioprospection of plant and plant parts. An issue identified is need for novel vaccine adjuvant. Study undertaken was study on plant-based vaccine adjuvants. Herbal plants of the region were used in this study. The outcomes are Shatawarin 4 saponin has a potential to be used as an adjuvant in vaccine formulations, and Shatawarin 4 saponin at a dose rate of 40 microgram possesses better adjuvant activity against Staph aureus bacterium by eliciting desirable humoral immune responses. Then coming to service project, we are doing service project on the topic investigation of diseases, zero prevalence and animal husbandry practices in northwestern Himalayan region, including wildlife and farmers. And we are giving services like feed sample analysis, and we analyzed around 598 samples, and proximate analysis is also done, and the results are provided to State Animal Husbandry Department. Postmortem service is also given, in addition to consultation on PM diagnosis to VO, SPH on WhatsApp, and around 161 postmortems are conducted on various species of animals, and infectious, non-infectious causes, trauma were identified in wild felines. Then fecal sample examination, 1,203 samples were examined. We are getting samples from STEM station, Palampur, State Animal Husbandry Department, livestock farmers and wildlife. And major parasites identified were amphistomes, fasciola, strongales, trichuris, strongyloides, Emeria species oosis, then Ascaris suum, Hymenoplepis and Capillaria. We are doing zero surveillance. Around 1,135 samples were collected from cattle, sheep, and goat, and Brucella leptospira antibodies were also found to be positive in the region, though prevalence is very less. Then we are giving services to the wildlife as some of the scientists of the regional station are the members of the Healthcare Advisory Committee of the Dolada Nature Park Zoo, District Kangra, and the recommendations for disease diagnosis were fecal examination, PCR-based diagnosis of hemoprotozoal diseases and postmortem services and basic hematology and consultation over phone and visits are also done. Coming to metabolic diseases in the ruminants, though there are many metabolic diseases, we are focusing on two of them and one deficiency disease that is common in the area, that is copper deficiency. So we will discuss about the milk fever or parchinine paresis. It is a very common condition in the field and it is characterized by reduction in the ionized calcium. Treatment recommendation is calcium supplementation, and half of the total dose can be given as intravenous and half as subcutaneous route to prolong the period of action. Then composite solutions containing calcium, magnesium, glucose, phosphorus is highly recommended in relapsing cases. Prevention and control of the condition can be done by feeding high phosphorus, low calcium ratio. Especially it is in the ratio 3.3:1 in the last month of pregnancy is highly recommended. And addition of chloride and sulfur to the feed during prepartum period improves the intestinal absorption and mobilization of calcium from bones. Ammonium chloride can be given at the rate of 100 gram per head per day, and vitamin D and its metabolites are also found to have preventive action. Second condition is ketosis, results from the negative energy balance, and the treatment recommended is glucose supplementation, 10 to 50% of glucose at the rate of 0.5 gram per kg body weight intravenously, insulin supplementation, oral supplementation of propionate precursors like sodium propionate, propylene glycol, and glucocorticoids. Prevention and control involves avoid fattening during pregnancy, balanced diet, and concentrate not more than 1 kg per 50 kg body weight and minimum of 20% crude fiber in the ration. Vitamins, mineral supplementation, ground maize as a source of polymerized glucose, and sodium propionate and ionophore antibiotics to modify the human flora. Then, though there are various deficiency diseases, we are focusing on copper deficiency, which is quite common in the area. Anemia, skeletal disorders, nervous syndrome, cardiovascular diseases, hair discoloration, diarrhea, and poor appetite is common. These are the major symptoms of the condition. Treatment is copper sulfate orally and injectable copper glycinate, and prevention control involves supplementation of copper in the regular diet. Coming to various services rendered, as we have already discussed, we are giving feed evaluation service, animal disease diagnostic service, wildlife health advisory, then consultancy, trainings, demonstrations to livestock owners, farmers, students regarding animal production and health, then organizing animal health camps, kisan melas, goshtis, and providing services and dissemination of scientific information to the stakeholders, then interlinkages with various line departments, user agencies, and farmers. These are the showcase of our major achievements. And future plan of action, future research would involve field trials, short-term projects in organized farms or individual farmer level of the applied research or technologies developed by the ICR IVRI Regional Station Palambur with the support of the State Animal Husbandry Department. New research programs will be undertaken as per the mandate and based on the latest feedback or inputs received from the veterinary officers or senior officials of the State Animal Husbandry Department for the benefit of the livestock owners or farmers of the region. Then package of practices or recommendations will be developed to State Animal Husbandry Department as well as Forest Department. Human resource development to various certificate and vocational courses will be done. Animal healthcare and management, animal nutrition and feed technologies, and animal production and management, and other training programs will be conducted as per the new education policy. Thank you, one and all, for patience.
We Gopinath for a very comprehensive talk on the area, not only achievement, covering the treatment also, and as per the feedback analysis, what type of the practices can be adopted in the Himachal. So with this, we finishes this technical session 1. And though we are running late by 1 hour, So I will request the co-chairperson of this technical session, Dr. Birbal, if any specific comments on this particular technical session is there to make out the proceedings better. So please, Dr. Birbal.
So I thank all the experts of this session. Now I request audience to ask any specific question on the topics discussed by different experts.
Yeah, that's question section in the technical session too.
Okay, sir.
So if no other comments from your side, so I thank you to you and the entire team of this technical session 1, including rapporteur Dr. Gauri and Dr. Ajayta, and the coordinator of this technical session, Dr. U.S. Pati and Dr. Akhilesh Kumar. And just a briefing, just summarizing the technical session in 1 minute. As Dr. Chaudhary sir has rightly pointed out, there is a deficit of the concentrate, feed and fodder pan-India, but it is also a problem in the Himachal. But there are certain remedies also, so in the form of natural grasses, tree leaves, bamboo, oak, willow leaves, dry grasses, silage may be a good option. And as far as the unconventional feed like apple, pomace, up to 20-30% replacement, some vegetable waste, fruit waste, they can be easily have a replacement up to 10-30%. And beside that, during scarcity, what type of the feed should be there, like urea molasses liquid diet, UMB blocks, compressed feed blocks, like that. They may be an alternate option. As far as Dr. Khan observations on the infertility, he has given a very elaborative way of the what are the causes and the managemental practices for managing the anestrus and repeat breeding. I think that will help you. The another topic was the AMR. Dr. Samiran has nicely covered what is the importance of AMR in India as well as in your state, type of the antibiotics which are resistant to the gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria. And I think that will help you to choose the right antibiotics for the right for the management of the these diseases. And then he has given some ethno-veterinary practices, including some homeopathic also. And then in the last, Dr. Devi Gopinath has covered as per the feedback based, what type of the practices are there, what are the achievement of that campus particularly, and what are the some treatment practices in the which can be adopted in the government of by the government in the Himachal region. So with this, I finishes. I am thankful to the Dr. Rupsi Madam for giving me an opportunity to act as the chairperson of this technical session. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for sharing this technical session, and to all the co-chairpersons and rapporteurs and the coordinators of technical session 1. Now we immediately move to the technical session 2. We are running almost 1 hour behind the schedule. So without losing much time, I welcome the co-chairpersons of this technical session, Dr. Rinku Sharma, rapporteurs, Dr. Gauri Jairath and Dr. Ajita Relash, coordinators, Dr. Devi and Dr. Akhilesh Kumar. So in the first session, we have seen what are the feedback of the our participants through the Google Forms, what they have sent us. But apart from that, there may be many responses and many issues that they may not have filled up in the Google form, or they may not have provided the response in the sheet. So now we are here to discuss on the issues that they are facing, the issues and queries related to the presentations that were held, and any other queries or problems that they feel they are facing in the region, and they need IVRI to take up research on that, or they need some trainings related to that, or they need to develop some collaborative research programs. So whatever is their issue, so now is the time to speak up. So please provide your suggestions. Either you can raise your virtual hand, or you can write your query on the chat box. So I request you to please raise your virtual hands on the queries that you want to ask. Please raise your virtual hand, or you can write on the chat box. If you don't get the place to raise the virtual hand, please Switch on your, you unmute yourself and you can speak. Any of the participants participating in this workshop and interface meet follow-up who have any queries, please unmute yourself and you can speak.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Good afternoon. Myself, Dr. Soni Priya. I'm posted at Veterinary Hospital, Bhuntar.
Yes.
My query is the ethno-veterinary practice that people follow, like you said in indigestion or other things, they use onion and garlic. So in few research, I have read that onion and garlic cause anemia in animals. So is it true or what we should advise owners that they should practice this continuously or they should stop it?
Yes, ma'am. We have the head of the medicine department here. So he'll be answering to your queries. Mandal sir.
Yes, sir. Discussion.
Many activities. Suppose somewhere, suppose in and then you know, for example, suppose the leaf of the guava, that is used as a digestive material. That is also used as an antibacterial property. So that is expert to listen the traditional lectures, they are very mechanism that it has a body activity. You can use it because plant components, they are really modified and they have many activities and there will be some valid research data will be there. If we have that valid data, you can use.
Dr. Soni Priya, whether your issue is addressed?
मैम वॉइस क्लियर नहीं थी, मुझे क्लियर नहीं हुआ कि क्या कहना चाह रहे हैं.
सर माइक को थोड़ा सा क्लोज करें. ये वाला दे दो.
Hello, madam. Now it's audible.
Yes, sir.
Acha. I am telling that every plant material have many activity. Suppose if we have a valid report that this particular plant material, this type of activity is there, then you can use it. Suppose I am giving one example. Suppose the guava plant, guava leaf, it is used as a good digestive agent, and also it is used as an antibacterial agent. So that is the valid report is there. So for your garlic also, there are valid report that it is a good antibacterial property. It also used in many places as a anti-bloat agent. So as per that report, you can use it.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Thank you.
So do we have any other queries? Chat box में. Chat box दिखाइए please.
Hello.
Yes, yes, please.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
I'm Dr. Anil Thakur from Veterinary Hospital, Samitpur. I want to ask from the sir, for severe constipation, we are using Amaltash now in Himachal, ma'am. Ma'am, what is the recommended dose of Amaltash in severe constipation in large animals?
Yeah, we are listening to your query. We have HD medicine here again.
For Amalta's, what activity you have seen?
Yes, sir.
For what you are using that Amalta's?
We are using sir seeds, crushed seeds, or of the Amaltash. Sir.
I don't have any idea that this type of activity. You can search it in the internet. If the data is available, you can use it. But
Okay, sir.
every plant material, I may not be knowing for all the plant material.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Anna?
Thank you.
Yeah, so we have queries on the chat box. पहली वाली क्वेरी दिखाइए और थोड़ा सा बड़ा करिए इसे, बड़ा हो सकता है? Details about silage making in polythene bags and prerequisite required as it could be beneficial in field, and elaborate about silage additives. This is Mr. Nishan. Oh, I can't see much here. Yes, sir. वैसे तो अभी आपको लेक्चर में बता दिया गया है. हाँ, ये आप इसके डिटेल के लिए कि कैसे बनाना है, उसके लिए आप HD एनिमल न्यूट्रिशन डॉक्टर LC चौधरी जी को कांटेक्ट कर लेंगे. उनका डिटेल जो है वो हमारे वेबसाइट पे है. नेक्स्ट क्वेरी है बाय अजय, डॉक्टर अजय. Foot rot is devastating issue in migratory flocks of sheep, especially in goats, and the biggest hurdle in sheep and goat. मुझे यहाँ से नहीं दिख रहा है, कोई वहीं पर जो है वो पढ़ सकते हैं. I can't see from here. Yeah, आप पढ़ लो.
The question is, foot rot is devastating issue in migratory flocks of sheep, especially in
So let me.
goats, and the biggest hurdle in sheep and goats rearing. So either research project may be initiated or package of practice be issued to these shepherds to prevent both economic loss and save their profession.
इसका तो हम वैक्सीन बना रहे थे.
वैक्सीन ऑलमोस्ट रेडी है. Madam, this foot rot is really a problem, and we have one project or one component under this All India Network Program on Challenging Medical Disease of Animals. So there is one center at your Palampur University and Ivory Center also, and Jammu, Srinagar. So they have developed a vaccine, and very soon the trial will start and vaccine will be available for this field use. And we are regularly working on it.
Thank you, sir. Sir, the next question from Dr. Katwal is, to meet out fodder scarcity, scientific package or practice for use of tree leaves having secondary metabolites as an alternative to the fodder may be developed.
Address and if details is required, I think they can meet Dr. LC Chaudhary, the head of the Animal Nutrition Division. And already we have a document on package of practices. So we will circulate the soft copy of that. And I think specifically, if required, we can make a package of practices for the Himalayan region. The Palampur Center can take a lead. We do have one comprehensive package of practices for the whole country that we developed, but a specific one, I think we can focus through the Palampur Center, and they can take up all the related issues and the package of practices available and document in that. Even the metabolic diseases and the cure and the infertility issues and the repeat breeding issues and whatever the research findings are there, on the basis of that, they can convert it into a package of practice. So another query is, Dr. Rinku, please read from there.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, the next query is, as ruminating animal have human microflora, which makes it different from monogastric animals. So how does garlic, onion, and other medicaments like asafoetida use will be effective?
Yes.
Dr. Samiran, he may answer this.
Okay, madam. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, yes.
Yes, you are.
Actually, this is nothing to do with all these practices. Whatever we are telling are on the empirical evidences. It is not like that, that all the whichever are being practiced are scientifically validated. Now that when it comes with garlic, onion, or asafoetida, they have nothing to do with the rumen microflora. My intention of telling was that these are used for as a carminative. Now that is going to affect on the flatulence performance. Now, if the microflora change and there are hundreds of reasons for developing indigestion in case of ruminants, and one of the reasons is for the microflora change in the microflora. If that is the basic reasons, then we have to go for the rumen card transplantation or all these things. But if it is for the clinical, if we have to see the clinical efficacy, now we have to go for this kind of compounds or something like dimethicone or simethicone, which are used in case of the conservative treatment. They are used both in the monogastric and these ruminants, and that is nothing to do with the microflora content.
Okay, thank you. I request all the participants to please ask questions, whatever their queries are. You can unmute and ask.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dr. Ranveer Singh, Senior Veterinary Officer, Banjar District, Kudru. I have a query on vaccination. Actually, nowadays we are doing 2-3 vaccination in animals like HSBQ, FMD, Brucella, etc. Sometimes LST also. So, do we need some gap between these vaccinations when we are doing in the same animal? How much gap should be given between the vaccinations, or can we do them simultaneously? Thank you.
Dr. Mandal.
Repeat the question, please.
Repeat your question, please.
Ma'am, I will repeat. I think it was not very clear. Dr. Randhir is asking whether there should be any time gap between 2 vaccinations or they can be given simultaneously.
For 2 other different vaccination, at least 15 to 20 days gap should be there. Otherwise, it will affect in the immunity.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Virendra Patel is asking, we talk for One Health, but what initiatives have been taken to control, eradicate rabies, tuberculosis in animals, as both have zoonotic significance?
Dr. Praman.
You see, Dr. Patel, for the rabies, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, they have taken, they are basically leading one project on rabies. The target is to make the 0 case by dog bites by 2030. So that project is ongoing for control of rabies in India. And maybe from the animal husbandry side, some other issues will be addressed very shortly. So that is for the rabies. For tuberculosis, long back, maybe around 50 years back, there was some policy which was initiated at ICR and the government of India level, but somehow that could not be fruitful. But recently, the DOHD basically is taking some good initiatives just to get the estimates of bovine tuberculosis in the different species of animals. Once it will be at our hand, maybe in future some vaccination or some other policy may be taken up for control of tuberculosis in animals.
Thank you. Sir, the next question is from Dr. Mukesh Thakur. He's saying the research findings or recommendations of Regional Station Palampur, which are pertaining to HP, must be shared with the Department of Animal Husbandry, and that will become handy to all vets working in the state.
I think this can be easily done. The station has developed a large number of research findings. I think that can be converted into a document on package of practices, and this we can share to the department.
Yes, ma'am.
On this, yeah.
We will do. Next question is from Dr. Nishant. He's asking, please share all technical slide, especially repeat breeding slide.
Yeah, one thing we can do is you can the speakers can provide us the PDF of their PPTs, and we can post them on our website. Today itself we can do that. So the slides will be available on our website.
Thank you, ma'am.
So do we have any other query? Because in chat box there are no other queries. So I think the participant, if they want to ask, they can just unmute and ask. persons from the administration of the State Department of Animal Husbandry of Himachal Pradesh, if they wish to address some issue or raise some query. There is one more question on the chat box.
Ma'am, it is, can we get 2 ml packing of Brucella vaccine in future as soon as possible?
Yeah, Dr. Vaccine. ML packing of. Can we get 2 ml packing of Brucella vaccine in future as soon as possible? 2 ml packing. What is the packing rate? Vaccine to the
No, ultimately, these issues, if really this is the issue, it should be taken up by DSD and the industry has to be communicated for that formulation. So ICR has nothing to do on this. Viable भी नहीं है.
Five dose में commercially वो viable नहीं हो पाती है. That's why they are giving it 10 dose per vial. Five dose में commercially वो
ये सिंगल डोज कर रहे हैं.
स्मॉल डोज आ रहे हैं. बोले के बाद
एक ही कर
रहे हैं. वो भी viable commercially नहीं है.
But the issue is also not with us. The issue has to be taken up by Animal Husbandry Department and the industry.
In 2 ml packaging, it is not commercially viable. At present, we are having 5 ml dose, 5 dose per vial as well as 10 dose per vial. So this may be asked to DSD. They can ask companies to use this 2 ml package of Brucella vaccine. At present, we are having 5 dose per vial minimum.
So any other queries?
Yes, Dr. Anil, please.
Hello. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, you're audible.
Yeah. First of all, I would like to introduce myself. I am Dr. Anil Sharma. I'm working as veterinary officer in charge in Rampur Polyclinic, District Shimla. And I'm also district nodal officer for ABC IRB program WBS app. I have collaborated with Mission Rabies India, and I have listened to all the technical sessions, and it might have been very much beneficial for all the veterinary officers of state. And my concern is that in field there are many problems. As I've started working in the field of rabies since 4 years, and rabies itself is a vast thing. Practically, what we see is a different thing. What we read is a different thing. So we just need to bridge this gap. And I personally want to congratulate IVRI that this initiative will definitely going to bridge the gap between the research institutions and as well as the field. So in future, if you plan to have some research projects in the field of rabies or EBH is a big thing. In our place in heights, we see the cattle are suffering, and after 2-3 years of suffering, it naturally dies. And we are helpless. We are not able to do anything. We are helpless. और ऐसी हेल्पलेसनेस से ऐसा लगता है कि हम वेटनरी नहीं क्यों हैं. तो हमारे जो रिसर्च इंस्टीट्यूट है उनसे हम एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं कि कोई ऐसी आउटकम आए. वो कैसे आएगी? वो आएगी जब हम कोलैबोरेटली काम करेंगे. तो आई ओपनली वेलकम एवरीबडी, एवरी साइंटिस्ट. आपको अगर कोलैबोरेट करना है फील्ड में कोई भी काम है, क्योंकि हम देखते हैं केस एवरी डे वी आर एनकाउंटरिंग द केसेस. मेरे पास EBH के केसेस भी है, रेबीज के केसेस भी है, मेटाबॉलिक डिसऑर्डर्स भी है, हर तरह के केसेस हम देखते हैं. तो माय रिक्वेस्ट इज कि हम कोलैबोरेट करें और इस गैप को ब्रिज करें, और फ्यूचर में एक अच्छा जो आउटकम है हम सोसाइटी को दे पाएं, ताकि हमारे जो फ्यूचर वेटनेरियंस हैं वो ये सोचें कि जो हमारे पहले थे वेटनेरियंस, उन्होंने कुछ दिया है हमारे को। ईबीएच का ट्रीटमेंट मैं दिल से चाहता हूँ कि निकले, कुछ हो उसमें।
Yes, Dr. Anil, your points are very valid, and we know that EBH is a very concerning disease, especially for the hilly regions and Himachal Pradesh in particular. So we will, though I have worked on one project on it, this particular disease, again we'll try to take up a research project, and I'll definitely take your help, and we'll collaborate and try to do work on the treatment aspect, because we have explored the role of allyl isothiocyanate in treating these neoplastic lesions in the urinary bladder. So our next target is to explore it in the cattle, that is the host population. So we can
Yes.
definitely collaborate. Yes.
This is again the issue, ma'am, कि One Health Connect भी है इसमें. I have worked in the villages and I have seen the cow which was suffering from the EBH, और जो उसका दूध पिए थे अंकल, उनको कैंसर हो गया.
Yes.
और वो कैंसर से मरे. तो One
Yes.
Health Connect भी है. First of all, we need कि इसकी हम public health concern भी बताएं. लोगों को पता ही नहीं है कि EBH से ऐसा भी हो सकता है.
No, at IVRA, we are trying a level best to create awareness, because we know that this taculoside, which is the carcinogen, it gets leached into the soil, it gets into the water channels and everything. So we are aware of it, and we assure you that we will definitely be working on this disease in future.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Ma'am, there is one more question from Dr. Ajay Katwal. He's saying, with regards to disease survey, modus operandi could be generated in analogy to regular monthly progress report from every veterinary institution. Monthly report of various clinical activities can be formulated that will not only reflect what a veterinarian is doing in the field, but will also generate a consolidated clinical data that will help in getting epidemiological data and a ready reckoner to veterinary health policy makers. Can't such suggestions be given to the animal husbandry department, means from our side, from IVRI side?
Well, I think we can document these things in proceedings.
Yes, ma'am.
And we can share it with the department.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, Dr. Mukesh Thakur is asking, as IVRI and its subsidiaries are mainly working to develop various vaccines for many animal diseases, my humble suggestion is that IVRI must have some vaccine production house on line of commercial vaccine production, company of the indigenously developed, rather than selling the vaccine formula or technique or patent to private companies. This will directly boost the institute's revenue generation and also will keep the legacy of IVRI in India high for times to come.
The suggestion is very good, and IVRA had been preparing vaccines and providing it to the state governments in earlier times, but due to the reduced manpower and the number of mandates now provided to IVRA, now it becomes difficult to now duplicate and send the vaccine. Other than that, it's better to commercialize the vaccine, so the industries, they can provide to the related entities and the state governments and all. So this is the major issue actually. We have less manpower, and we have more mandates, more diseases, and more research to be conducted. So production is not the basic mandate, although we do provide antigens and some diagnostics through our BP division. But right now, vaccine production is in abeyance. And in future, maybe because of some compliance issues, maybe we produce, but we may not be able to cater to the whole of the country. It will be always the responsibility of the industries to do that, or the biological production units of the state government, because most of them, they have their own biological production units, so they can take the technologies from IVRI and they can produce at their level.
Yes, ma'am.
Dr. Ravikant, would you like to add? Okay. Yeah. Any other suggestions, please? Yeah, Dr. Ravikant will add something. He is the head of the biological products division.
Your suggestion is very well taken, and we are still trying hard to get certification of GMP, because vaccine production we are not doing because we are not having right now GMP. We are already having funds, so hopefully in 2 years time, we will be having GMP and we will initiate the production of vaccines also. Although, as Madam said, that not whole country we can cater, but as somebody else asked that either we can prepare 1 ml or 2 ml, 1 or 2 doses per vial, that we can take up as per the requirement of the states. So at present, as Madam said, we are producing some antigens and we are supplying throughout the country. So hopefully in next couple of years, we will be reinitiating production. And as you said, this will no doubt boost our revenue as well as institute prestige also. Thank you.
Thank you.
So do we have any other questions? There are no more questions. Then we will be moving towards the end of this program. And we'll request our Honorable Director, sir, for his concluding remarks.
Thank you very much for attending this important meet. The basic purpose of this interface meet to create a vast platform wherein our officials working in the field can really interact with the scientists of IVRI. This is one target, and other target during the course of interactions, the generation of researchable issues is our one objective. Second objective is technology requirement of the state. Third, training or capacity building expectations of the states. And last important objective is to have a feedback of our technology. So I think we have already seen the technology requirement of the state, which have been emerged during the course of interaction, and some of the important issues raised related to the researchable agenda. So I think the whatever the issue raised, we will certainly include in our researchable agenda. What we have seen that there are specific requirements of each states. And the requirement of the state of Himachal Pradesh are entirely different from the state of other, you see, interface meet which we had earlier. So my submission to the team of Palampur: prepare a structured proceeding in consultation with the scientist given responsibility to note down each and every point of the discussions at IVRI. So within, I think, 2 or 3 days, we will have a structure proceeding regarding the what ATR we have taken and what are the specific requirement related to the research, technology, and capacity building of the state. So the proceeding is the one part, and other is the part is the action taken. My submission to the campus of Palampur, we have to see how best we can include all the point related to the research in our agenda. So I think in this year only we will have I think very soon interactions followed by IRC. So all the issues we must see in our discussions in due course of time. I think very soon we are planning to visit Palampur regional station. So these all the point we must see in our institutional research the projects. Number two, we are also implementing the flagship programs through our SCSP, TSP. So I think some of the points raised by our officials can very well taken during the activities of these important programs. So I think the functional collaboration can only be made if we have a action promptly as per the expectations and requirement of the state. So certainly we will have the action on various aspects related to the research and technology requirement of the state. My submission to senior officials of the state that this knowledge updation and the skilling and capacity building of officials are very much important. In tune of national education policy, we have already introduced 27 new diploma for veterinary officials and also for some officials who are holding other than the BBSc degree. That is for paravets. So, and I am happy to share that sometimes we are not able to spare our officials because of scarcity of manpower in the state. So, in this finance academic year, we have also initiated 7 new diploma on the ODL form, online distance learning. So if you are not able to join physically, you can also join these online diploma courses of IVRI. This will really be beneficial for all of you. And you can visit our websites for these courses. And we are also introducing, in addition to this, around 68 various training certificate courses. These are our 7 days, 1 month, and 2 months. And certainly these initially we have planned physically, and in due course of time for a specific course, we are also planning to initiate online distance programs. So we must be very visible as far as our capacity building program is concerned. Any human resource working in any you see any state or any department, the capacity building will be the topmost you see phenomena in as far as human resource development. So my submission to the officials that kindly look into it and visit our website whenever and wherever you find any a requirement of the any skilling. So you can very well contact the university officials for these certificate trainings and vocational education courses. And for your kind information, we are also running regularly the entrepreneurship development programs, EDP, through agri-business incubators. We have a full-fledged, well-established and well-resourced AVI and RAVI, Raftar AVI. So wherever you and your colleagues are these professionals working in the field, progressive farmers, they can also be on board of these courses implemented by AVI and RAVI. So this is capacity building and skill development programs is our priority in tune of National Education Policy 2020 and also the expectations of the Government of India. So this is in brief about the the actions to be taken by the State Department of Animal Husbandry, Government of Himachal Pradesh. So with this remarks, with this interface, what we learn, we have to proceed as per the discussions and requirement of the states, and with the hope that state government will also take initiatives whenever they find any kind of assistance of IVRA related to capacity building and skill development of the officials working in the field. So with this remark, thank you very much. We are really grateful to Dr. Sandeep Ratan for attending this important interface meet. And we are grateful to all our officials working at our regional center Palampur, regional station Palampur. So thanks to Dr. Gorakmal and his whole team. And thanks to Dr. Roopsi Tiwari and his team. And my gratitude to all the joint director colleagues and distinguished head of unit. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. So before we proceed further, I request all the participants to please turn on their cameras for taking photographs.
पूरा गैलरी व्यू ले लो
गैलरी भी ले लो
तो समीरन आपका वीडियो बंद है
तुम ले लो
स्क्रीनशॉट्स लेते जाओ स्क्रीन आगे बढ़ा के ये आ रहा है नेक्स्ट स्क्रीन लो नेक्स्ट स्क्रीन
vote of thanks for
Rajat Dr. Ajeta. Dr. Ajeta, please proceed with the vote of thanks.
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. I, on behalf of ICR-IVRI, take this opportunity to propose a vote of thanks to all the esteemed dignitaries and participants for the successful completion of a workshop on recent trends in animal diseases and production and interface meet follow-up 1. First of all, I express my heartfelt thanks to Honorable Director, cum Vice Chancellor ICR-IVRI, Dr. Trivedi Dutt sir, for gracing the event as chief guest and for being a source of inspiration and for providing valuable guidance, infrastructure, and all the essential facilities required for the successful execution of this workshop. Thank you very much, sir. Our sincere gratitude to Dr. Sandeep Ratan Sir, Deputy Director, Animal Production, Department of Animal Husbandry, Himachal Pradesh, for accepting our request in a short period of time, for being a guest of honor for this workshop and representing the department on behalf of Dr. P.K. Sharma Sir, Director, SDHHP. Thank you, sir, for addressing the participants, for providing valuable suggestions and inputs, and for unconditional support during such interface meets time and again. I humbly extend my gratitude to our co-patrons, Dr. K.P. Singh Sir, Joint Director, CADRED, Dr. S.K. Mendiratta Sir, Joint Director, Academics, Dr. S.K. Singh Sir, Joint Director, Research, for their continuous support and guidance throughout the event. I wholeheartedly thank the organizing secretaries of this event, Dr. Roopsi Tiwari Madam, Joint Director, Extension Education, and Dr. Gorakmal Sir, Head of Regional Station Palampur, for conceptualizing the program and for working meticulously for its successful accomplishment. We are also honored to have with us Dr. Pallab Chaudhary Sir, Joint Director, Bengaluru Campus, Dr. YPS Malik Sir, Joint Director, Mukteshwar, Dr. Arnab Sen Sir, HORC, ERS Kolkata.